Just 3?
Yeah. Welcome, everyone, to the live stream of the century, of the millennia. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, Chillmonger, Onzo, and Scotty got together. And, you know, there was no opening crawl. And it's 33 burning Star Wars questions. The first question of 33 is 1. Did Boba move in the bacta tank? Or was it always there? To me, that's Jabba the Hutt's palace, okay? Would Jabba have a purpose for having a bacta tank? And that size? No. But is it for him? You know, people get roughed up, get sent to Jabba. No, we need him alive. Throw him in the bacta tank. I could see why Jabba the Hutt in that palace would have a bacta tank. So it could go either way. I could be convinced either way. Let's throw it to the floor.
That's a good question. I think Boba brought it there because he really needed it. It is a possibility that Jabba would have it, but I think it was Boba that brought it.
Scotty, is it Jabba's? Is it Boba Fett?
I think, again, both are possible. I myself would like it more if it was Jabba's. He could use it as leverage for the bounty hunters that he hires. Say they do come back like brink of death kind of thing, and then they owe a life debt to him, that kind of stuff.
See,
as a form of manipulation, like wouldn't put it past him.
That's what makes it so hard to believe. Like, where is bacta even from? Like, is it a natural thing or is it a chemically?
It's actually.
I love how you know the answer to this.
Yeah, it was revealed in one of the first 2 or 3 High Republic comics as a new form of technology. You see Yoda and Master Vetter, who's also in the prequels, on the council with Yoda. So that confirms 2 Jedi that survived whatever happened to the High Republic Jedi. And they're just discussing it as a new form of technology. I cannot remember the system that it came from, but at that time it was like a new thing.
And if they call it technology, it's not like it grew out of the ground.
Yeah, I can't remember again how they developed. I don't think there's very much detail, just general mention, which was cool.
That is cool. Number 2. Oh, wait, I technically didn't answer. I'm going to say the daimyo was Jabba the Hutt because, do we consider that building Jabba's palace or Boba's palace? Bro, after 40 years, it is hard to get me not to consider that Jabba's palace. But as someone who likes using current stuff and modern stuff, and that's what they're naming it to? Okay, cool. No more Baby Yoda. He's Grogu now. As a guy who can kind of like shift for the sake of what's happening now, it's called that. Boom. I respect it. I still got to go Jabba's palace. Sorry.
Oh, it's Jabba's palace all day, every day.
Yeah, I think until the Hutts are no longer a thing altogether, like it's going to be hard for people to not consider it a Hutt property. Yeah. The universe has known them for so long, like you said. Like, yeah.
Some of us consider it Jabba's palace, and it's never going to change. Some of us think that he's only occupying the space now. Comic boom in the building, gentlemen. Boom!
Yeah,
I just watched your video about the DC Power book. It's so much like the Marvel Voices book, where hey, it's Black History Month. Let's do something, and you'll get a bunch of short stories all in a big little book. A big little book. How can they be big and little? But you get them in a book, and then you just don't see them for next event and the next major thing. And it's like, okay, what are you really proud of? Probably next time we'll see them is Black History Month in 12 months. Like, I really don't think that they're logically thinking it through. I think it's just like some it's symbolism rather than like consequential stuff. If they want to launch a hero coming out of this series, then you got to read the first issue of the Black History Month. That would be cool. Remember Milestone Returns? If that were to drop on Black History Month and that spawned the hardware story, the static story, and the icon story, and 3 black superheroes coming out of their Black History Month book, that's cool. Now we're thinking. That's my point. Sorry, Scotty, were you saying anything?
No, we're good.
Number 2, do we consider that building Jabba's palace? We all say Jabba, right?
Yeah.
3, have you come to acceptance with the Holdo maneuver? I'm going to answer first. No. Scotty?
I'm gonna I don't know, man. It as a fan of the sequels, it doesn't make sense to me. So no, like I can't. A droid could easily stay.
No. No, I will never accept that. No.
I mean, are we talking? So just to be clear, we're talking as far as like a strategy or herself having to do it.
No. As like fans who watched it and kind of disliked it, have we now come to accept and say, listen, it's part of the story. We accept it. It was hard to digest. Kind of like how people rejected Ahsoka, but then they kind of grew on her. So like that Holdo maneuver that happened in the 8th movie.
And people reject it because I thought mainly because she stayed back to sacrifice herself when it was like a droid could have just directed the ship to it. But you're saying like people hated that scene? Because I would disagree.
No. The first reason is a droid could have done it, and then why hasn't anyone else ever done it? There probably should be like a reason for why the Holdo maneuver is possible. They said the reason is that it's 1 in a million, which doesn't really explain it, but it's an explanation regardless. They don't have to actually tell you how, but for some reason that was 1 in a million. My headcanon is, well, you know how an iPhone could be jailbroken? You know how, I said this before on my stream, but there's new viewers. I probably said this a year ago. The iPhone, or rather, the Radmus, which is the ship that she was flying, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That is jailbroken. 1 out of every million ships that those guys create. Remember on Canto Bight, they sell to the good guys, they sell to the bad guys. But 1 out of every million, they're like, let's just make this one be able to go and access light speed without navigating, through the obstacles.
No.
That was the 1 in a million ship that was allowed to do that. And that's why only she could do the Holdo maneuver. I mean, yes, she probably could have done a droid too, but that's why only that ship could do it. The guys who manufacture the ships, they manufacture all the ships everywhere. They got the patents galaxy-wide.
Nice try to find a reason for it, but no. All ships can go to light speed, right? And all she did was go light speed through one of the ships. Anybody could have done that. So no, I will not accept that.
I need a reason for why anybody couldn't. Yeah?
Not accepting it because that's supposedly the first time anyone had ever thought of using it. Or
one of the
reasons.
Like,
I'm not overthinking that scene. I don't know. I'm not upset about it, I guess.
Okay.
But, shocker.
To me, it's just like, okay, so now that she did that, you just put droids in ship and ram them into other ships. You just do that. Light speed into this one. Light speed into Star Destroyer. Nah.
Poor plot device. The 9th movie, they explained, that was a 1 in a million shot. So that can't happen. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I'm not asking more questions. I'm just, hey.
Bro, 9 was trash. So.
In theory, it makes sense, but just because you can script it does not mean you should. Bad writing. Right on Rock. Yes. Thank you very much for agreeing. My theory makes sense. What was Jabba the Hutt's first Jabba? His first job. Was he born rich though? Isn't he like royal?
I mean, I think the Hutts had money.
The Hutts have money.
He's from their planet, their planet. I don't know. I mean, Legends probably has that information.
He probably had some like lame gesture of a job where the people would get to see, oh look, there's young little Jabba. He's, how there's a flower girl at weddings and stuff. That's a job technically, but Jabba was like the slime boy.
They probably just gave him that shit. They're just like, here, this is yours now. If he was a descendant of whoever. Sometimes
they put royal family members in the army, in the forces, it's all fake. They're apparently they like what's his name from England? Apparently he killed people and stuff, and he was like putting in work and yada yada yada. But then people found out who he was, and so they had to pull him. That was all staged. So Jabba the Hutt was probably one of those guys, like Joffrey in Game of Thrones. Remember that? When it was actually Tyrion
put up on a pedestal, and like the twins come too, like shortly after Boba takes over. I can't remember how that conversation 100% went down, but they were trying to reclaim it,
the twins that we got to see in Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, the twin Hutts. Yeah.
And I don't think Jabba had a job. If he came from wealthy royal family, he never had a job. He was sitting around. That's why he's one of like the biggest, fattest Jabbas out there, right? Because he didn't do crap. He just stayed at home and lived off the money that his parents got.
Number 5, what was the highlight of Star Wars Rebels? When Ahsoka met Darth Vader, when that went down, There was nothing that was gonna top that. We had James Earl Jones's voice back. Revenge is not the Jedi way. What? The nerve of that man saying those lines. And then Ahsoka tells him, I am no Jedi. It brings a tear to my eye. You see it formulating there? You see it? In this 1080p? That was some good stuff. That's the highlight of Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yes.
I agree.
I think for me the highlight was Mortis.
Oh, this should be interesting.
No, I liked the Mortis arc, right? Or was that Clone Wars? That was Clone Wars. I like World Between Worlds. I mean, I feel like they did it right. I think they're going to revisit it in the Ahsoka show too.
They did World Between Worlds right. We don't even know what the whole thing is. You know how many fan theories? Every time I tune into Star Wars Obsession stream and you guys are chatting about it, you guys are so confident you know what it is. And this is what it's not really time
There's
travel.
A lot of it explained in the show and stuff. There's a scene where Sabine Wren is being interrogated and the guy is talking about how Palpatine's trying to access this ultimate power. And it's the World Between Worlds. You didn't like any of that shit where him and Dooku are like sitting there accessing it.
I don't hate it either. Like listen, just because I don't like, it's not a dislike. I'm just sort of like
I didn't like it either.
I'm watching. I'm not saying I don't like it.
People consider it like time travel, but it's not. It's a window into those moments. And Ahsoka understands it so much so that at the end of that episode, she makes sure to tell Ezra to go back to the same place that he was in.
Yes.
And then she stays in hiding because she knows that Vader would assume she's dead. She can't ever be seen, or then Vader will know there's some crazy power out there. He already saw her disappear.
Time is traveling though, because I remember the episode where Ahsoka is fighting Vader. That episode happens, days have passed. And then Ezra pulls Ahsoka. So she literally did travel from a time to another time. It's travel.
Well, she's inside the World Between Worlds.
When she leaves.
So that's not a different time.
It's not a different time?
No.
I think she skips
she returns to... Oh, you're saying when she goes back into to the portal in Malachor.
When she finally
where she got
returns.
pulled from. Yeah, no, I think it's at the exact same time.
Oh, yeah, okay, that could be possible too.
Yeah, she makes sure to tell Ezra as well to go back to the same portal.
Hey there, listening in while I work on taxes. We were just chatting about taxes right before we went on stream. That's crazy. Hey, you liked the video. Thank you, Star Wars Anna.
That Dave Filoni is going to also have to explain a lot of that in her show because it's the driving point as to why she's wearing white/gray robes now and a staff. I assume she might not even have. Well, no, she has to have lightsabers because they're going to save Ezra. But all the answers to that are coming.
You know Ezra's going to be on the dark side when they actually find him, right?
Oh, man.
It wouldn't be interesting if he wasn't. I need to see somebody fight her.
That would be very ballsy. That would be very ballsy if they did that.
He'd be like, no, Thrawn has some actually good ideas. Hear him out. Question number 6.
Interesting.
Wouldn't be interesting. That would make the show. That would make the Ahsoka show. Is that like a finale twist, or is that something you do in the middle of the season?
I probably say you go to the end. At the end of the season, she finds him, and he's like Thrawn's apprentice.
Do you consider any of the Star Wars Visions head canon at all?
No.
No.
Hard to say because even the I like the future type of episode where the Jedi are not there. I think it's called the 9th Jedi, where the dude's like farming Kyber out of space, and it's from like destroyed planets or something like that. He's the saber smith, and his daughter has to take those 9 lightsabers to the Jedi, and they end up like some of them being Sith, or not. They don't say Sith, but they're dark side Force users. I like to think that is like a future part of a distant timeline. I don't know. I think some of that stuff could fit in because it's not in the solar systems that we know of.
If they adapt that one, we all like that one. Every time I hop on the internet and talk about this topic, that's the favorite one. But it's not canon to me. In my head canon, no. 7, is Star Wars more long ago or far away? Here's the thing, guys. In the green text, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So we get 2 fars and 1 long. The unit of measurement in question here would be light years, which was light and years. We know that they can travel at light speed from one side of the galaxy to another. I've seen long periods of time being spent in light speed. Remember, like the first episode of Mandalorian, I can bring you in warm or cold. And there was a guy chit-chatting with him and like, hey, I'm just going to go downstairs. I'm looking for the John. And the whole time they're in light speed, right? It's light speed travel takes a long time. That's all I'm trying to say. And because of that, the galaxy is more far away than it is long ago. It wasn't so long ago.
Yeah, I agree. I would say far away. I don't want to get too in depth on this because me and my girlfriend literally just watched this YouTube video about light cone theory. I don't know if you've ever seen anything about that.
Was it a Star Wars related video?
No, it was like trying to break it down to people who are dumb and yeah, like light cone theory. Just look it up. It's wild. But yeah, I think far away.
Not conventional time travel. I got you. Number 7 is 8. When you hear 2187, do you think of the door that Leia was trapped in back in the first movie? Or do you go to the sequel trilogy, FN 2187, the name of Finn? I think I've heard FN 2187 so often. I go with Finn. Onzo, did you just say FN 2187?
I go with the door. No, the door.
I go with Finn. I didn't even know the number on the door until they started bringing up that it was an Easter egg.
Finn wins. Live chat says far away. Yes, okay. We can all agree that it's far away. And we can semi all agree that it's the door that we think of with Finn. Number 9. Are all Trandoshans bad, or are we just being exposed to a few bad apples? The most recent episode of The Bad Batch showed them on Kashyyyk in the homeworld of the Wookiees, terrorizing them. Every single time we see a Trandoshan, it's never a peachy and positive thing. We thought Sid was cool, didn't we? Until episode 3, the riot racing episode. We'll watch out for that Sid. Okay, well, I guess no Trandoshans are just going to be outstanding people. I remember there was a Clone Wars arc where it was a Trandoshan that went evil, wasn't there? Trandoshans cannot be trusted. The bad apples are not the exception. They are the rule. So are all Trandoshans bad? No, not all Trandoshans are bad. You probably find a good one here and there. Is there any High Republic Trandoshans that are going to change my mind right now? Wasn't there one in the first issue that was like, lost his arm or something?
Yeah. Yep.
Was he good? Did he turn?
He's already like in the first 2 issues fighting with the dark side and turning to the dark side. So he blames himself. He blames himself for the death of another Jedi Master, and that is the end of him, pretty much. But yeah, I actually disagree.
He's a reptile.
They're not all bad, but I think that they all have that rivalry with Wookiees. I think with Wookiees, it's kind of like kill on sight.
A rivalry? So I guess that was just a road game. They'll be back in.
Yeah, and we see it in most instances where they meet. Like even Black Chrysanthemum did it in the Boba Fett show, like
on neutral territory. But I don't see no Wookiees traveling over to the world of Trandoshans. Where do they live?
No, I think Trandoshans are like it's inherent for them. They're like prey. Yeah, and they're reptilian, so
they're supposed to be bad. Their eyes they slither when they speak.
They're like snakes, right? So,
but
I'm sure there's some good ones, though. I'm sure there's some good ones. I'm sure
they've got holocron channels called Trandoshan chat. I'm trying to make a correlation with Danny. Yeah. Some are good. They're not all bad apples. Bosk is cool though. Oh, Bosk is a bounty hunter. That's another Trandoshan. What? That was the first one we've ever seen. We've only been experiencing these guys and thinking of them as scary, vile people. Bounty hunters. How many good bounty hunters are there? There's Din. I'm not really with the rest of his Mandalorian pack. They seem a little bit of Maldalorians. It's an open and shut case, really. I don't know what we're talking about. Not all about most because of the Wookiee beef. They're a victim of
Yeah,
circumstances.
exactly.
Okay, who stepped on whose shoe first? I know the Trandoshans started this. They instigated this.
Yeah. Agreed.
Sure.
Are all Trandoshans bad then? Come, we can say yes.
But is it
Danny!
bad?
Danny, the question is, are all Trandoshans bad, or are we just exposed to a few bad apples? Danny. Go ahead. Sorry, someone talk. Well,
I think it's instinctual, like a bloodlust, if you will. I don't know, like I said, even if it's a friendly Trandoshan, I feel like when they see a Wookiee, there's always that little in the back of their head, like I can't interact with that Wookiee if other Trandoshans see me and I'm not in attack mode.
They're gonna call me a Wookiee lover.
Exactly.
They're racist towards Wookiees. No complaint. You know?
All Trandoshans are bad. The next question,
But
30.
But is a lion racist to a gazelle? That's kind of where I'm at. Like they're a prey. It's not like with the species.
but
they're like a
with the
dragon.
Trandoshans and Wookiees, they have some sort of conscience, and they can
intellect.
Yeah, right. That's the word I was looking for.
For
Good
sure.
job.
For sure. Yeah, I'm breaking it.
What does it mean if you can't find the word for
instinctually.
intellect, huh?
What are you trying to say?
No, I interrupted.
You said it all for me, baby. Oh man, SSJK that sank. Oh, you brought the bald headed. What's wrong with you? Why we can't get like a Star Wars themed happy, picture?
Well, I don't got love for Star Wars like that anymore. So
kick him, get him out. Goodbye.
I'm only here to talk about it because you guys talk about it. And I'll talk about it with my friends and people, that I converse.
That's it. That's why you're here.
Notice how we said with his friends. So we're not your friends, K-Dot? That's what you're saying?
What?
I said I'm here talking about it with you guys, my friends. I'd rather converse about it with friends and argue.
You see? They said it.
I don't believe you.
You just said it again. You'd
I'd
rather
argue over Star Wars with friends and, not, show love to it. I'd rather love.
You do want to talk.
I'd rather have a profile picture slandering the MCU, even though I have issues with the MCU too. I'd rather slander the MCU than put a Star Wars profile picture in my StreamYard.
Well, most of them are slaver, to be honest. Danny says Trandoshans are FOS. What does that mean? FOS. I know that I can imagine the F. What's F?
Yeah. You lost me too.
Kick that DC lover off the stream. All right, he's
Thanks,
gone.
Danny.
Typical MCU fans.
Dot, answer the question. Are all Trandoshans bad? Or are we just seeing all the bad apples?
You want to hear some honesty? Look. Yes, all Trandoshans are bad. All right. Yes, just because one Trandoshan does do something, his little thing he does reflects the whole community. And this is what other Trandoshans should be doing to that one. They should be taking that Trandoshan, locking him away, hiding him from society, locking him in some room or whatever, or even getting rid of him in some way, and making sure he never sees the light of day again, because he's making all the Trandoshans look bad. And if all the Trandoshans look bad to the rest of the galaxy, it makes it hard for the other Trandoshans. So sometimes you gotta get rid of a bad Trandoshan so the good ones can thrive. So yes,
He's spoken.
accountability must be held.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
We need to defund the Trandoshans. Number 10 of 33 burning Star Wars questions. If episode 10, the upcoming movie, when is it coming? I don't know, but it's upcoming. If they can involve either Favreau or Filoni, who would you select? And you can't say, well, I would choose one because I know they would consult with the other. I'm saying that it's only one. They lose the number to the other guy. There's no contact between the two. You can only get one of them. Chillmonger selects Favreau. What do you say, Anzo?
Filoni.
Ooh, Favreau, Filoni. K-Dot, do you go with Favreau? Do you go with Filoni?
Filoni.
For a movie, eh? All right, Scotty, save me.
Favreau.
Yes. It goes
I
down
mean,
to the live.
Didn't he do the live action Lion King?
He did.
Oh yeah, Filoni.
But his job was to mimic the original. That's not really like a real, I don't know,
I was
judgment.
gonna say he also did the live action Jungle Book, which was fire.
Oh, the 2 movies I didn't like. Yeah.
Diesel says Filoni. I guess Filoni's have it, honestly. Comic Chat says, kind of like all cops BS. Yeah, that was the joke. It was the bad apple stuff. Have that same kind of energy when a bad cop does something stupid. Don't blame all the others.
That's why I said all the good ones team up and make the bad one go somewhere. Boom.
So you're right, Danny. We will praise the 2% that are good cops. Okay, we will.
Aaron, what's going on, Aaron? He says Favreau, but I reject the existence of an episode 10. Why? That's just numbers. There will
I feel
be
like
one.
we won't see that until I'll be honest with you. I feel like we won't see it episode 10 to like maybe 2030 and beyond.
What's it right now? 23 right now?
Yeah, 2023.
Damn, that's crazy. 2030, you think what it'll take? So then the last movie came out in 2019.
I mean, look at when how long did it take for episode 7 to come out?
This is a greedy company. As soon as they got it, they rushed in episode 7.
Man, I think the next one's gonna be 10.
I mean, but I'm just saying if you compare it in terms of like how Star Wars movies like come out, because look at even the prequels compared to the original trilogy when they came out, it was some big gap in between. Then there was another big gap until we got to episode 7. Yes, a new company bought it, but there was a gap of time when they didn't do nothing with it. They did other content. You know, I'm not saying they're going to follow the same route, but it feels like they're going to drag out this Disney Plus stuff, fill in holes until they can feel satisfied to continue. Like, let some stuff die down, especially the episode 8 drama. Like, let some stuff die down. They're not going to be away. They're not going to be able to get away from that drama. People still going to remember episode 8 and what happened, but I think they're just going to drag that Disney Plus stuff out.
And Scotty says the Damien Lindelof rumored movie is episode 10 of a trilogy, you think?
I would like it to be. I don't see why they wouldn't.
I think just another spin-off Star Wars story movie. Like Rogue One.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we would have known if it was a trilogy. We wouldn't have just heard of rumors of a movie. You feel me? I think we'd know it's a trilogy.
I mean, because someone would have some insider would have said,
the same guy who said it was happening.
Episode 10.
Yeah. The same guy who actually revealed it would have revealed also this is a trilogy. They were looking for casting for 3 movies. So let's count it again.
Well, did they not say they're also abandoning that structure? Kathleen Kennedy said they are going to go away from the 3 movie.
Kathleen Kennedy's going away. I don't think it's going to matter.
Sure,
anymore.
but you think that they're going to just abandon and stick with the 3 movie trilogy after they've talked about not doing it?
I think at a certain point they will. I think they'll try one-off movies, but I think they will go back to the original trilogy thing.
I'll take both. I'll take the one-off movies and the trilogy. The problem that Star Wars was having wasn't too many movies or whatever Bob Iger said it was. That's not why Solo wasn't a hit. I just no interest to see Solo. To this day, haven't seen Solo. Not really interested.
Yeah, you just skip that one.
Okay, there's Favreau. There's a Filoni. There's a agree with K-Dot. I guess the Filonis have it. That's fine. You guys don't always have to be right all the time.
I say Filoni. I say Filoni because I think he knows Star Wars more than anyone else, better than anyone else, with the way he's been right with George Lucas and everything. So that's the only reason why I picked him.
In my opinion, Chris Knight came up with an awesome idea and direction Star Wars should explore. They should have like 2 series on Disney Plus. One series should be called Sith, and the other is called Jedi. He's got another comment coming. I actually like this idea. Chris Knight said this. I ought to get him on.
You actually watched that? Oh, Danny put that there. Okay, I was like, wait, Chillmonger watched our show. Wow. Okay.
If I'm watching, I usually type something in the live chat. So no, I didn't watch this show.
Yeah, no, Chris didn't say that. Yeah,
just this week.
This was a few months ago.
Honestly, it's impressive. Star Wars has remained popular in the way it has after 40 years. Oh yeah, very impressive. Most impressive.
Toys and comics saw that. Well, in a couple movies,
Video
mainly
games.
toys, comics kept it alive. TV shows
and lightsabers are cool. They would have the Star Wars episodes on Family Guy. Even like Phineas and Ferb did a Star Wars episode. That's a cartoon at Onzo, but like that was like this thing is huge. The franchise is huge. True or false? If Cassian interacts with Ahsoka next season, it'll make the galaxy feel small. If these two characters link up in Andor season 2, mention something, may the force be with you, bye. I would go, oh, what are the odds that the new, the new series and the new series are linking together and matching? It would make the universe feel small, and I don't want that. You should be expanding the world, and that's what Andor is doing good at. If anything, Andor is expanding. This has got nothing to do with old stuff. Fans seem to be happy for it. I'm reading articles all the time saying how it's not the cameo central, it's not cookie cutter Star Wars. I like that about it. So this is true. It would make it feel small.
I'll say false.
I don't want them to do anything with Andor, to be honest with you. I didn't like it, wasn't a fan of it. So I don't want to see Ahsoka in it or around it or anything like that. No.
Oh, I read it. Yeah, I don't want to see Ahsoka in the show. I'm not watching anyways, but I still think false regardless, because if Andor, like we saw in Rogue One, he was working with the Rebellion. Before New Hope, there was a time Ahsoka was working for the Rebellion. I mean, she should technically know who the guy is, especially if he's some big figure in the Rebellion. Because so was she until she disappeared. So she should know him.
Jaded fanboy, would it make the galaxy feel small if Andor and Ahsoka Tano link up? This is true, right?
Saying it would make the galaxy small is a nice way of saying they're just trying to make everything connect, and no matter how desperate they are. I say making the galaxy feel small is yes, but only because it's the nice way of saying it.
Got you. Scotty.
I would say that it's possible because she's already set up as the fulcrum in other material. So she was, for lack of a better word, she was a voice that was kind of like communicating and keeping the rebellion together from afar. I think it would be cool. I don't think it makes the galaxy small. I think that the rebellion's fight against the Empire is already small. It's already in like one area of the galaxy. As far as like you said a lot about the Andor show that I literally disagree with everything you said. You said it was like new stuff, and to me, like, this is old stuff. I don't care about who's building the Death Star or who's going to stop it from happening again. Like, we know. We've literally seen it 1,000 times. Can we move on? That's where I'm at.
I mean, with the show Ahsoka, it's because she's a fan favorite that they're pushing her. To be quite honest, if Rey ended up becoming popular, guess what? They would have Rey and make guest appearances everywhere. Just because, again, yes, it would make the galaxy feel small, but it's like, hey, you like Rey, so let's have a cameo of Rey here. Let's have a cameo of Rey here and Rey here. It's same reason they had R2-D2 and C-3PO in 9 movies when they didn't need to.
I can't put my finger on it, but your audio it's louder, but it also has like more hissing to it also.
Oh, sorry. I got the same mic and same setup as usual.
All right.
I think and to be fair, as a Jedi, Ahsoka did. I mean, we didn't see everything, but if we go back to the Clone Wars, she did go to she's been to the planets with the Night Sisters, which is often, some different parts of the galaxy that people usually don't go to. She's been to a lot of different places, so I wouldn't say that her meeting Cassian anyways is out there, because I mean, she's been a lot of places, and she probably still just traveled to any and everywhere, even in hiding.
Yeah, but if it was mentioned as if, oh yeah, I did meet Ahsoka, 2 years ago, or on that planet, that's one thing. Like mentioning it as a little story or a little 10-second soundbite is different than having her actually appear in the show. So it's like she doesn't have to appear in the show. She could be acknowledged, but yeah.
I do think it would be pretty cool though if once Andor and the rebellion are like full blown rebellion, she's there as like a motivating factor, even if it's just one time, even if it's on a holocron, for Andor to realize like, yo, there's Jedi that survived, like we're actually not out of this, because he feels like a lot of the times that it's not worth it if you're not all in. Like he keeps saying that all the time, like if you're not going to put everything into this, they're going to win, kind of thing. So he's desperate at times.
Now, the Sith should do a whole season about the backstory of a Sith. Then the next season would be the Jedi, and it tells his or her story. They build it up, and then they make the movie to cap it off. Okay, WandaVision is the only thing that has come close to this, where you have to watch this to understand what happens in Multiverse of Madness to culminate. And to me, it was a successful combination. I would prefer this all the time. That's what your Disney Plus is.
I mean, I would totally. I mean, not with Disney because they're gonna make it all super duper kid friendly, but like the origin of the Sith, like the Sith homeworld and the species and stuff.
They should do both of those eventually. Yeah, I think.
I mean, because the species that are like the original Sith, they look just like Darth Maul. I mean, they're these red creatures. I don't think they're the same species, but they look kind of like Darth Maul.
Leave Ahsoka out. Don't shoot
the Marzazi? Am I saying that?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, I think
I thought they were Exegol. Do they live on Exegol, but they're called Murtani?
No, this is like Korriban. This is not.
You're saying words I never heard of. Korriban.
Dude, you know how I think that project, one of the dream projects I think they should do that would cover all of that would be the Inquisitors and how they started as Padawans and how after Order 66 they were turned, or like the process of manipulating the Jedi after. And, that would be cool.
She's Fulcrum during the time a brief hologram transmission is good enough. Lightspeed space flight makes the galaxy feel small. No, lightspeed space. Oh, you're kind of right if that's the way you mean small. But I just mean like it's a galaxy. We can't just keep bumping into the same kind of pirates and bounty hunters. It's got to have different people all the time.
Yeah, it'd be like running into the character Bill Burr did in The Mandalorian. It's like
Mayfield.
Mayfield. It's like there's an episode where you suddenly run into Mayfield because he does a cameo, and it'd be like, what are you talking about? He's running into Mayfield. How?
Put it back up, K-Dot. I was
horrible character.
Yeah,
I thought it was good.
This is like Knights. This nice canons. I maybe I don't know, but this is what the original Sith look like.
And that's practical. You could actually dress someone's face up that way to make it look like that thing on the screen.
Yeah, they have some pretty crazy designs. Some of them look dope in the Moda books.
Sith Master Sean. They look none like Darth Maul to me. They were Molly. They were Molly.
Yeah. Like take out the horns, but you're gonna have to that red bloody skin and stuff. Yeah, they look just like Maul.
DL also says it would make the galaxy feel small. True or false? Jaded fanboy, Anakin's cheap shot on Mace worked because he earned his trust. That's true.
Not look.
Earned his trust?
False. Mace dropped his guard too much. False.
He told him if it turns out to he's the Sith Lord, I will trust you. You all have gained my trust, right? All right, boom. So we're their final battle. He's sticking his lightsaber right in his face.
But you gotta look at it like, okay, but that's like, okay, I never ever trust you, but if you do this one thing for me, I will finally give you what you want.
And it happened.
But he didn't really trust him.
Yeah, it's not like the cheap shot worked because he trusted him. Mace just never figured he would ever do anything like that. It's
Right.
And Mace trust also had to do with Anakin staying where he was and not showing up there, because he already knew that Anakin was conflicted, right? So when Anakin shows up there, I don't think he was like, "Oh yeah, I trust you." No, I don't think that.
Right, because he told him to stay outside in the hallway. He didn't come in. It was just him and those other Jedi that was on the order that came in with him.
Right.
True or false, Scotty? Anakin's cheap shot on Mace, it only worked because he earned his trust.
Oh, I agree. He never trusted Anakin. All those Jedi just got killed, and Mace was like literally freaking out, telling him, "No, we have to do it my way, this way." He, I think, knew at any moment that Anakin was already manipulated, already gone. Mace, again, he dabbled in that side of things. So,
what do you propose?
Yeah, I think once he knew it was Palpatine, it was like game over. No trust until this is over.
Okay. 13. Answer this one too, Scotty. Bad Batch has filler.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. Jaded fanboy, just in time. True or false? Bad Batch has filler.
Not as bad as Avatar 2, but it does have some filler.
And your audio changed exactly like I thought it would. Onzo, Bad Batch has filler.
It's all filler. Yes, 100%.
Even the first episode though.
Yes.
Really?
I was just about to say what I was saying, but I never seen it. But
yes,
to me, that's just all filler.
This Week with Gunji was a good episode to me. There's a reason why I made him the thumbnail of this video.
I didn't see this week's yet.
Oh, you'll like it.
But a lot of Star Wars shows is filler though. Like Clone Wars is, kind of like filler.
Look at that cute Gunji. Look at him. That one tooth right there on the side of his face.
Man, he was useless in Clone Wars. Chill. Why'd you put him on the thumbnail?
Because it was his episode this week. It was him. He showed out. He was actually like a cool character. He couldn't really speak, but what's his name spoke for him. Hunter.
Yeah, is he a Jedi in the Bad Batch?
Basically, yeah, and he looked a little bit taller and older, so time passed. He probably got. He can speak to the trees and stuff, and he's all spiritual. He's Jedi-ish. He's canon.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be garbage.
I think there's a difference between filler and world building. And the first couple of episodes of Bad Batch, there was world building that was necessary, and it's like you have to have that. You have to have that to be able to know what's going to happen, so that they can build up for something 3 or 4 episodes down the road.
So world building is fine, but what is the plot of the series? What is the plot of the season so far?
Oh no, that I'll agree with. That's
why it's filler.
Okay,
because we have no idea what the plot of the story is this season.
Because you're just
that's all filler, right?
Yeah, you're just
following.
I don't think that's a bad thing. I think they're going to get to it eventually. It's a slow burn, but I don't think it's bad that we're not sure where it's going. Do you have other questions about Bad Batch coming up? Because there's some controversial stuff I want to talk about. last episode, or not last episode, the episode before, with the ship they went into.
I'm not going to talk about. No, I considered that a filler episode. So go ahead, say what you wanted to say.
Okay, so a lot of people are saying the same thing, and I'm pointing at the video game and the Zepho, and people are completely just disregarding that the technology, the beam from the ship is literally identical to the guards in some of the temples that Cal Kestis fights. So it's a lot of filler, but I think there's like little Easter eggs in here that have meaning.
Hopefully,
but I don't know if
so like a Marvel.
Nobody cares about the Zepho then.
So like a Marvel movie, it's filler, but it's got a bunch of Easter eggs.
No, more than a Marvel movie. I think that the Riot Race that was streamed, it was on screen all over the galaxy. If they're looking for Tech, and the guy went with the name Tech rather than use a fake name, and he looks like a clone because clones all look the same. I think that may result in something further.
Yeah, all filler ain't bad. If the filler adds to the story in a way that gives more insight to something, I don't think it's bad, especially if it's written well.
You know what? Boruto filler made me remember the name of like Sumare and some of the ones that I wasn't really considering. After that, okay, I don't care about
like if it's, I'm gonna give an example. Let's say, in a Bad Batch episode, they're hanging out at the beach, and they're just hanging out at the beach. And that's like soup. That's like filler to the max. That is filler to the max. They're just hanging out at the beach. Nothing happens. Nothing changes. And the little plot is they're trying to stop a giant crab monster from terrorizing the beach. And they're hanging out at the beach.
Well, fans of Dragon Ball Z should be used to episodes filled with filler. So I mean, it's not that big a deal.
That's different though. Dragon Ball has good filler.
Oh, it has good filler. Okay.
Dragon Ball has good filler. I would say all filler isn't bad, especially if it develops the story more. And most of it
that is correct. But we haven't
if it develops the story, then
yet.
I consider it good filler.
So when we get to that, then I can go back and say, okay, yes. But right now, it's just. Okay, we're just watching them go on certain missions, you know what I mean? They're not hunting them yet or anything like that. So I'm like, okay, you can at least have filler and still do other things to progress the story. And they haven't done that.
Anzo, Kenny says that it's legendary filler episodes. You agree?
No.
But in that case, Anzo, then you could easily say that the first season of The Mandalorian was all filler.
Yes, 100%. All it was him going on side quests. Yes, absolutely.
It was just him just going.
Yes.
Then I agree with you on that. That yes, then Bad Batch would be filler then.
Yes, it was the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it got it. Like the episodes. What's those? Of Book of Mando, episode when Mando comes into his show finally, he takes over and becomes Book of Mando. Those 2 episodes add to Star Wars because it's showing Luke building his school that we eventually see burnt. Like that is important to an extent. It shows stuff I don't.
That was more reference. That was more reference to it as opposed to actually seeing it. Because that's where Grogu is, and that's why they ended up going to get him, because he just happens to be in the same spot that he's going to eventually build the school.
Right. It was an episode that, if you're looking into the future, okay, this is important for episodes 8 and 7. You see where it's starting. One of his potential first students at this school, blah, blah, blah. And also,
Ahsoka was there because it's a small galaxy. It's a small galaxy.
Well, I mean, we did need to finally see Ahsoka and Luke.
Hey, light speed makes it small.
Question 13: Bad Batch has filler. Most of us say yes.
Yeah.
Star Wars obsession. Here you come in with the false man. The 14th question: Gunji's tooth is enough to make him stand out. He was the thumbnail. That's him with the little tooth on the right side of our screen. That tooth, is it enough to make him stand out? In an animated format, yes. If this was live action, I don't think it would be so visible. But for animation, since we've only ever seen him in this way, true.
True, yeah. Because the only way to tell him apart, because he is...
Maybe when they do the adult Gunji, because he will be older during Mandalorian, he'll be bigger and his tooth will be bigger, and that white will contrast against his dark fur, and it'll be like his big, because he looks just like Chewbacca, doesn't he? He's a freaking Wookiee. There's nothing you could do. They made Black Chrysanthemum a different color fur, and that's useful to stand out, and they got to do a tooth for this guy. I'm still saying it's enough true. Kata, you just said true, didn't you?
I would say true, but it's that animation style, because they don't make the Wookiees look like, how the Wookiees look in live action. They don't look as lively because their hair is like actually very furry and stuff. The Wookiees in animation look like, someone took some grease and just slick their hair back. It looks all straight and groomed.
It just stays the same up top, and then like when they bend over and stuff, you might see some dangling at the bottom, but never up here.
Like in live action, their hair look wild. It looks wild. It looks untamed. If Gunji shows up with some clean Wookiee hair, all greased up and stuff, yeah, we can tell them apart.
He's the Coruscant Wookiee. He's their senator. Scotty, is this true or false? Gunji's tooth is enough.
Yes.
Yes.
That's enough. It's enough for me.
Anzo?
Yes, enough.
Yeah, Jaded Fanboy said true.
No, well, it's enough for Disney because otherwise they would have to develop a character and personality traits to actually distinguish him. So instead, we'll just make him a generic character and just go, oh, look, he's got a tooth. Isn't that different enough than anybody else?
Preach.
What if he's a dwarf Wookiee? No, he's not, because he did actually grow from when we saw him in the Ilum episode of Clone Wars. Dude, all rookies don't look alike. Man, those Wookiees are pretty the same description, bro.
No, they don't all look alike. They don't.
What's this one here say? Berry Little Cream? What does that mean?
Burl cream, she's trying to
Oh,
say. Burl cream.
Oh, God.
You know that the little hair cream there, Burl cream?
Huh?
You guys don't know about that? You're too,
Is that like,
too young for that?
Is that like pomade?
Nah, it is come in a little tube. It's called Burl cream. You could put it in your hair, slick it
That,
back.
okay, so hold on. Are we going to get some Wookiees with Jerry curls then?
You should.
And dreads, maybe.
Dreads,
Jerry
for
curls
sure.
and dreads. That'll distinguish him. Other than that damn tooth would, anyway.
Not many of those Wookiee Jedis. The
Yeah,
next
exactly.
question. True or false, Scotty, the High Republic will increase in sales by 15% or more after the Acolyte airs. Yeah, you
True.
think so? Yeah.
Hell yes.
I think that 15% is not a big ask.
I'm not sure which ones, but people will look into the High Republic eventually.
You know why we know this? Because James Gunn had the comic books that he was referencing, and it turns out
blew up.
A lot of these are selling out, and on Amazon
That
at
was
least.
wild. I was like, I did not expect that. People,
That
that Supergirl Woman That's Tomorrow comic literally sold out on Amazon. I'm glad I got my copy before it did sell out, but it sold out. I was like, dang. I did not think that was going,
We have a literal customer here that proves the point correctly. Yes, 15% of High Republic will increase. They will see that, this is attached to the relevant.
Well, the only reason it did, because if you promote your comics, people buy your comics. These, and that's why I say this. What makes these movies can make them more useful. Like, promote your other media. The comics with Star Wars is not as important as the live action stuff, but promote your other media by using your main media that brings in a lot of money. That's what Matt Reeves did with the Batman. The Long Halloween comic sold again because they was releasing it with the IMAX release of the Batman, and people got a Long Halloween comic along with it.
Yeah, but it's also that it has to be characters that people care about, which is why Darth Vader miniseries still sell very well, but nothing else.
Well, then you're saying that it's false after the High Republic show called The Acolyte comes out.
Well, no, it'll increase by 15%, but it's not going to retain. It's like there's a difference between it's like with.
Oh no, I'm with you. The month of it will increase.
Right,
there will be an impulse purchasing buy, and maybe some of them stay, maybe some of them don't. Regardless, sales were made, and that is a positive. That's an up. That's money. That's and people are happy. They're more involved with your thing. You maybe that was their first comic that they bought. They might not buy another for a long time, but they'll be like, yeah, comics, I do that thing. And now I heard a story on my timeline.
Any big amount of money for comics helps because, like I say, sales for comics have been going down in years because it's almost dying form because people don't read as much anymore.
Well, I was
read like that.
Not to trash the character Killmonger, but it's like with Captain Marvel. She would have a mini series. The first episode would sell tremendously well, but then the follow-up issues wouldn't sell anywhere close to even half of what the first episode.
Every comic is that way, though. Every comic has a high issue.
When it's the first issue of a well-promoted comic, the first issue is going to sell, amazingly well, but it doesn't retain that level of interest.
Yes, nothing will be retained. I'm with you. So, but I think we all said true, unless I didn't ask Onzo. Did I ask you, Onzo?
No.
Comic sales will increase by 15%.
I'll say they will increase. I just don't know if it'll be 15%.
All right.
But yeah, they'll increase.
Didn't DC sell out James Gunn's slate announced? Yeah, we just brought that up. If they only let Rian Johnson make 20 films and 15 TV shows, the IP would have been saved.
Some comics sold out, and I wouldn't say every single one. But
why did you nod your head when he wrote that comment up there about Rian Johnson?
Because that's everybody's go-to, and Rian Johnson did nothing wrong.
Oh yeah, well in that case, if they had promoted Ray harder, it would have been much more successful. Make every movie about
Rian Johnson did nothing wrong.
No, sir. No, sir. I think that
I have spoken.
yeah,
He made the movies. He made
episode
the movies.
9 is absolute trash.
So
all
is
it did-
8.
Other than making the movies,
all 9's purpose was to take away from what 8 did. All
Yeah,
8's
because
purpose
8 did
was
way too
all
much.
8's purpose was to build on what 7 did. They passed the fucking baton to Ryan Johnson and said, "Here."
Yeah, but
So,
he didn't build on anything that 7 did. He took it away. He killed Snoke, right? Without
Dude,
even giving
he
us
built on it and also gave us
Didn't even let
the
us know what
reason
Snoke
and
was.
how Palpatine came back. Like he did the most creative thing that they did in the trilogy, and
Who
people
told
just
us?
shit on
Wait.
it because they didn't like what happened with Luke Skywalker.
Wait. Ryan Johnson never told us when Palpatine came back. JJ did that in the last one.
Yeah, and then he created Snoke, or Snoke was created by the Star Wars team. And the reason that people don't like 8 is because of Luke Skywalker. Ryan
It's not just
Johnson
Luke,
didn't put
but-
him on an island by himself in exile. Ryan Johnson didn't do that.
Yeah, but then Ryan
I mean,
Johnson made him
there's
almost
more
kill,
reasons
or
why
at
he
least
did that.
try to kill Ben. Ryan Johnson did that. Ryan Johnson put like a whole Cantobite scene in there that goes nowhere in the movie at all. There was no reason for them to go there.
And honestly, like taking out the Luke thing, the whole movie of 8 is literally just two ships, one ship trying to hit the other ship, but they can't hit the other ship because fuel.
Right.
And I'm like, this is the movie. Like, yeah, okay.
And
8 did
you
not
get a-
build on
you get a-
7. It
you
went
get a
out of its
mama
way
joke.
to end plot points set up in 7. Well, one of the
Well,
plot
plot
points
points
was
were
being
set up
in
in
the
7.
island of Ahch-To, and
Literally,
Luke is
that was-
isolated.
That's why I say 8 should have, regardless, and this where Kathleen messed up. Even if 8, I don't think it was going to go in a good direction anyways, but JJ should have did 8. He should have did 9. He should have did all of them. Because getting these different directors and even these trilogies, it creates inconsistency.
Absolutely
I seriously
not.
dislike
Absolutely
7, 8,
not,
9. That's my
because-
solution. I just
Hold on.
I still
Let me
think
let me answer Kata,
even
because-
But we do this every time we do Star Wars. We always
Yeah, I
talk
just
about
wanna
whether
say-
we like the sequels. And
No.
all that
I'm just
nonsense.
gonna go what Kata said about the different directors. George
All right.
Lucas in the original trilogy had different directors. It's not because you have different directors. It's because they didn't have a point A to C, right? They didn't
Well,
have
yeah,
a
that's
full story completed out. That is why.
whoa,
Right.
wait a minute, Anzo.
But Anzo, I'm just saying.
Daisy
it would've
Ridley
been-
didn't
I'm
even
just
know
saying it
who
would've been more
Baby
consistent
Daddy was until 2
Yeah,
years
exactly.
before.
like
Yeah.
7.
Hold on, wait a minute, Anzo. The thing was though, with 4 to 6, they had people telling George Lucas, no, you can't.
But
do
that has
No,
nothing to do.
not
But
it.
has nothing to do with him having a full story, though. He knew where it started. He knew where it was going to end. Even in
Okay,
the
no, I
prequels,
see.
he knew where
That's
it was
not true.
starting, and even
not
yes,
true.
it was. Yeah, absolutely.
No.
He may have
Darth
changed
Vader and
things
Anakin
along.
were different people. They were 2 separate entities to begin with.
No, they weren't.
Things changed,
They
sure.
absolutely
Right.
were.
But he did map out this
right.
movie. Then he decided,
That's what I'm
wait,
saying.
this is going to be actually a
Yes.
trilogy. This is too
Yes,
much of my first movie.
Things have changed, but he knew where it was going from start to finish. Things have changed along the way, even in the prequels. Things have changed between movies, absolutely, 100%. But he knew where we're starting, and he knew where we're ending.
Speaking of
Right.
George Lucas, true or false, George Lucas has pretended to open an automatic door with the Force. This is like a 60-year-old man. Not once, you're telling me not once you at the supermarket and he didn't go, I'm a Jedi.
No,
Totally. This
no,
is
George
true.
Lucas never did that.
Oh my God. How
No,
this is
George
the
Lucas
easiest
never
question
did
I've ever asked in the
Yeah,
history
no, George
of this
Lucas never did
entire
that.
show.
No, he
Every
never did
single
that.
week on Saturday, I come on here and I ask these questions. That's true. I ask false. And you're telling me George Lucas never once was like,
Never
oh,
did
I got the Force.
Why
No,
wait? Hold on, wait a
never
minute.
did
George Lucas
True.
had to
That
pretend.
is so true.
Wait a minute.
Thank
George
you.
Lucas has to pretend that he has the Force. I thought it was just understood.
Yeah, he just has the metachlorians. So
I
that's
I thought he did. That's how.
Are you chill? You know his ranch he has.
yeah.
You know his ranch he has.
Skywalker
Bro,
Wrench.
Bro, he literally probably has a like a barn or whatever, or a specific room where he goes to cosplay. He puts on his little Luke Skywalker outfit. He tells his wife, "You dress up like Leia." He hires some dude to be Han. All right, guys, let's all cosplay together. He
Okay.
does some role play stuff.
No,
Yeah.
no.
No, totally. 100%.
That'd be like saying
He
that'd be
totally
like
does it.
No, that'd be like saying he's got a room with all the action figures and plays with the figures.
There's nothing wrong
not
with
that.
that. He probably does. I'm not trying to make fun of him for it. He probably.
No, I don't think he does that either.
He walks
Well,
into the
you know
room with
what?
all the
Hold on.
action figures and goes, "This is why I'm worth $3 billion."
No, you know what?
Four.
You know what? He had kids,
Four.
right? So at one point, yes, he probably sat down with the kids, played with the toys, and played Star Wars with them.
Hey,
yes.
didn't he have a little Grogu in one of those behind-the-scenes Mandalorian galleries? They showed him and he was playing with it, wasn't he?
Did he? I didn't. I don't know. I gotta.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
did listen to
also
that
wore
book.
a
I think that was
T-shirt.
Luke.
Oh
He
yes,
also-
he was. Yes.
He also wore a T-shirt that said, Han didn't shoot first. So leave me alone.
Oh, did he? He does those T-shirts every now and again. He had one of those
Well,
quotes from
just-
the movie reviews for the first Star Wars movie, and he was shooting the second Star Wars movie. Scotty from Hawks Holocrons. True or false? George Lucas has once in his life pretended to have the Force with some
True.
automatic doors. Yep, easy, 100%. No one's questioning this guy.
I am. It's
I did too.
So hard.
That's correct about Vader and Luke and Leia weren't siblings in the beginning. He's definitely dressed more than 10 people in sexy Leia costumes.
Yeah, hopefully one of them is his wife.
Didn't he tell he told Carrie Fisher they don't have underwear in space?
Yes.
That's
That's why she went commando.
I'm sure more people did that after Chronicle 2012 released. What is this, a video game? What's Chronicle 2012?
It's a movie
The
with
movie.
Michael B. Jordan, and where they get the powers.
Deez
movie.
Diesel says it's true. Hey, yo, the House of Nerds show. How's the pink guy?
5-year-old kid did that. I mean, every kid after the first Star Wars movie, every kid did that at the supermarket. It was just.
I know there's people doubting me. There's people saying that it's false. You guys are wrong. Question number 17 of 33 burning Star Wars questions. Disney Plus shows get uploaded at the perfect hour. False.
False.
I don't understand the question.
They
Damn
come
right,
at
it's
3
false.
a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, that's false.
Okay,
Absolutely.
now K-Dot, you're in the West Coast. It's going to be 12 Pacific. Is it at the perfect hour?
I wish 9 a.m. For me, they should release at 9 a.m. Pacific, so East Coast people can watch it at 12 and not 3. Because I didn't never realize that, and I didn't know East Coast people have to struggle that much waiting for something that may or may not be good at 3 in the morning. So release it at 12. At least you can play it safe, and people still get a good enough time to go to work. Get some sleep and get up for work or whatever they got to do.
Because East Coast is the time. It's not Central, it's not Pacific, it's East Coast. So,
Right.
for us to have to sit up there and wait until 3 o'clock in the morning, oh man. And then, like you said, if it's not good and you waited up that late, like some of those Marvel stuff that I did, oh man, yeah.
Right, you're gonna like that's gonna make me mad. And mind you, Disney,
False.
they're not our babysitters and stuff, or whatever. But it's like y'all really could be wasting people time when you can just release this at a more digestible time where everybody could watch it. Everybody could watch it.
Well, I can understand why they do it. You know what I mean? They wait because if they put it Eastern time, right?
The
at
traffic
12
on the
here,
website would be wild.
Yeah, right, exactly. Because other people in Pacific or Central, they'd be like all over that.
That's why you got to put it on TV. And when the episode is over, then you put it on Disney Plus. No one's going to say, oh, no, well, I'm not going to pay for Disney Plus. They will like the convenience of having it on Disney
Hey,
Plus.
I mean, but if the website crashes, it'll say something about the show. Like, dang, oh shoot, the website just remember when Attack on Titan came back out for season 4 show and the website crashed because everybody was trying to get in on that first episode. That show is engagement.
Diesel says it's 2 a.m. for me. I prefer midnight at the latest. He's in Wisconsin. So 18, true or false? Daisy Ridley.
Hold on. I want to answer that. I want to answer 17.
I thought you went.
No, I didn't. Okay. Other than maybe the first couple of episodes of The Mandalorian, who the hell at this point has decided I'm going to wait and I'm going to wait till 3 a.m. and hope it's going to be good? Give me a break. Come on.
What a psychopath.
No, seriously. I mean, at what point you guys even said it yourself. You're staying up at 3 a.m. hoping it's going to be good. At what point do you realize it's not going to be good? Just wait till the next day.
Because Jaded, it's not all bad. I like the Mandalorian.
And to be honest with you, Jaded, if you're like a fan, you know what I mean? You're hoping it's gonna be good. So you want to stay up, you want to be up there and be like, okay, you know what I mean? And then you get an episode. Like, for example, the Ahsoka episode of Mando, I think that's one of the best episodes. I stayed up till 3 o'clock to watch that one. I didn't regret it. But if you ask me about the other couple episodes in the series, then I'd be like, yes, I regretted staying up.
Serial killers stay up until 3 to watch Star Wars. If it's the Marvel shows, you don't know what quality you're gonna get.
Oh, yes, we do.
Star
Yes,
Wars
we
over
do.
Marvel.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do know.
We do know.
Question number 18. True or false? Daisy Ridley watches every new episode on release day. False. I got my doubts.
True.
She's in England.
False.
And no. Hear me out. She watches every new episode with tears going down her eyes, saying, "Why aren't they giving me work?"
It's true, eh? Scotty said that it's false.
Yeah, she's wondering why. What? Like, I need a job. Give me work.
Okay.
She's just envious and angry.
She's got nothing else to do. Why not?
She just had a movie come out.
What movie? See,
some movie her like husband produced.
Oh, there you go. That explains everything.
As I said, what movie? And then
like the girl.
What movie?
Like
I never
that
heard of this movie.
It's like that actress from the Resident Evil movies. You know, the only reason she has movies is because her husband's. You know,
Millie. I know you're talking about.
Onzo, is it true Daisy Ridley watches the new episodes on release day? 3 o'clock it releases, but for them it's 8 a.m. She got all day to watch an episode. No, doesn't watch it, no?
Nah, false.
Yeah. And then Jaded Fanboy, you're going to say? False.
She's got nothing else. No, true.
What would she be doing?
True. She's got nothing else to do. So she might as well watch it.
Well, Kenny says false. Steezel says false. Chill, when you going to have a 33 burning questions for DC? I probably should, actually, because they have their new chapter. Maybe I should. I'll let you know next week, maybe. Wait, actually, next week, sorry, Kayal, but next week I'm gonna probably do like a Black Panther celebration, like a Black Panther Day or something.
I will pass on.
You're saying K-Dot? K-Dot.
Oh no, well, what I was saying, I'm gonna say if I had to play devil's advocate real quick, I'll say false, because most actors, they don't watch most of the content that they're associated with, like MCU actors. Well, some like
Gwyneth Paltrow, she has no idea.
Yeah, some that just come in for like one movie, like they probably didn't, watch the whole franchise. Like, I'm here to get my money and stuff. And some don't even watch their own work anyways because they don't like watching themselves on screen. So
yeah, people do that. I even saw Dave Bautista. He was on Jimmy Fallon. He said that
Christian Bale said that too. He barely watches most of his movies.
A lot of actors don't watch their own movies. Yeah.
It's not like she's
they
getting
have
any.
to on the red carpet. Like,
Yeah, he watched it on the red carpet though. That's the thing.
Well,
Yeah, like
He
they
won't read the
might
script.
watch it once, but they won't watch it like reoccurring.
oh, when they're wrong. Yeah.
Now, Batista said he'll get the script for a movie. He'll only read his parts, and then if he's on any more scenes, he'll just like, nah, forget it. I don't need to know what happens in this movie. He'll see it as a fan. He'll be surprised, but he doesn't complete. So I guess that's not the same thing actually, because he does want to see it in actuality in its final form. Cole says, yeah, it's not like she's getting any roles these days, so I'm sure she does. Oh, this is a bit divisive. Some of you are saying yes. I better get the invite for a DC panel. I'll give you the invite for this panel. I thought we would have more people. Dre Mac Show says, what's up, fellas? Hello, Dre Mac. Yeah, I saw that new Daisy Ridley film. I'm watching every film she's ever in. I caught up for now. Oh, if this is Cole. Of course, Cole hears about an independent movie. He wants to check it out. If she ever has even a passable performance in any film that is yet to happen, LMAO. That's true. Okay, next question of 33 Burning. Who would win a riot race between Anakin and Omega?
I don't know this Omega. That is that chick, right? I'm gonna go.
You need to check out some more Bad Batch. Yes, it's her. You know her.
Chill. I am not going to sit up and watch even one episode. I'm gonna just leave.
Wait. You won't sit up. You won't wait up until 3 a.m. to check out the upload. Come on.
Oh no, I'm not East Coast, but I'm not watching Bad Batch. Nope. I'm not
if
watching.
The five of us.
Nope. I'm skipping.
If the 5 of us take longer than 5 minutes to answer this question, I'm leaving. It's Anakin.
It's
Yeah,
Anakin.
It's got to be Anakin.
It's Annie, little Annie. Yeah, Anakin.
Yes.
He's been piloting stuff since he was a child. I mean, Omega, she's a child too, right? You know, not trying to discredit her skills, but
No, I don't see
Anakin been like doing this stuff as like a child.
Yeah, let's pretend I'm asking about young Anakin. Okay, pretend the words change. The Phantom Menace Anakin, who beats Boba, versus Omega. Who wins this riot race?
Yeah, because I was thinking Anakin in
Anakin.
the same age range as Omega, so I'm
Yeah.
thinking, how could it be Anakin?
Annie,
Anakin,
baby.
He had the Force as, I mean, he kind of had the Force as assistance. Now you can't count the end where the ship was on autopilot. I think R2 was driving it. Kind of. It wasn't really him flying it. He kind of flew that Naboo starfighter by accident a little bit.
No. He ended up taking it off autopilot and then flying it. But is Omega Force sensitive?
Yo, some of us say so. I was watching Jasmine's last week, and she says that Omega says something, and Sid's assistant, that's voiced by Wanda Sykes, repeated it word for word right after Omega said it. You know?
Okay, but has it been
maybe?
confirmed? No, it hasn't been confirmed yet. So
No,
until it's confirmed, it's Anakin all day, every day.
Okay. Yo, I don't want to take more than 5 minutes, like Scotty said. It's hi there. It's Anakin. It's Anakin. Come on now. Definitely Anakin. There we go. 21. What could Leia have done different to save Alderaan?
Wear the bikini outfit a lot sooner.
Yeah, that's the answer. Yeah,
What
there was nothing stopping
Leia
Tarkin.
could have done different was actually use her unmatched speed that she had as a child. If she had that speed,
They just run and just like
right, like she had some weird. Oh, it was the Force. So the Force was around her, was turning people into like dummies, so they can't catch her. She didn't use her powers enough. She had these powers and didn't use them. See, she could have saved her planet.
Wait a minute. Are you
could've
literally trying to justify that the reason they didn't catch young Leia was because she was using her Force powers to stop them?
Jaded, it was that.
Oh, that is. Hold on.
I'll tell you, that's the reason they're going to use. It's the Force. They're going to say it's the Force. Jaded, they're going to say it's the Force because the Force made it known that Leia has to survive regardless because of destiny, blah, blah, blah.
I believe that's called plot hole, not the Force.
To be honest with you, I'm gonna have to agree with K-Dot because the way those guys were tripping over logs and stuff like that,
that had to have been the Force.
You know what I mean?
Come on!
I'm not saying this. I'm not saying it justifies it, but that's the only reason they.
No. The other reason is called really bad writing.
Bruh, we're asking what Leia could have done differently when Tarkin was saying, then name the system.
Nothing.
Is there anything that she could have lied to him? Hey, your family's on that planet. What was gonna happen? Like there was no stopping Tarkin.
Well, she did.
There was no stopping Tarkin anyway. There was no stopping.
Yeah, but she did lie though, because it wasn't Alderaan was the planet Tarkin wanted. He wanted the planet for the rebel base, but she said it's on Alderaan, which it wasn't. So he destroyed Alderaan.
Bro, she didn't even know she had a Death Star. That's crazy. That's so wild. Like the trauma, we need to explore that right after that moment. Like she was just like sitting in that cell thinking about her dumb decision. But at the same time, how is she supposed to know they have a planet destroying device that's never been seen before? So
right.
Get on it, Filoni.
Yeah. She didn't know she was sitting in a weapon. She thought she was just sitting in like some little
space station. They thought.
Oh yeah, Aaron's right. She said Dantooine.
Alderaan was screwed either
right.
way.
He said that's where the.
Yeah, you're right. She did, and then he said Dantooine is too far to make a.
It's too remote. It's a nice try, but it's obviously
to make an example.
Right.
Yeah.
So they say that in the special editions and their actual editions, right?
The original.
Yeah, the originals. Yeah.
She could have given him a decoy planet, established a decoy base, then infiltrate the Death Star. But she didn't even know the Death Star existed yet, so I mean, I really don't put any blame on her at all in this one.
And then she would have also, if they did believe her, she would have set up another planet to be Badoosh.
Badoosh. I skipped the question. 20 was, how soon is too soon for another race? We got the first race back in Phantom Menace, and I always skip forward to that plot point. It's oh my god, it's not for me. We got 20 years later.
You don't like the pod race?
Nah.
No.
We get the riot race. Well, of course you didn't like it, Jaded. Like, what was your favorite part of the first?
I mean, we need another one ASAP in live action. We need another one.
How soon? How soon? When?
Well, we need it in Mando season 3 when we get to the final episode. Grogu's with his little Mandalorian fret buddies and stuff. Like, let's race, guys.
Yo.
And you end the episode.
Why are you encouraging this? What?
Yeah, let's do it.
Why do we need another race in the
I'm
first
good on
place?
races.
That would be a beautiful way
Jaded
to
is good
end
on
this,
races.
on a cute little note. Grogu and Mando race. Oh, or it can be a foot race. It could be a foot race. Grogu's fast. It can be a foot race.
Yo,
Eric,
yeah,
she
and
doesn't
listen,
know
and
the
Boba
death
Fett
plan.
is
She
running
didn't
the
see
show.
the plans. She just got them, and they followed her. She never had time to chill in front of the computer, plug them in, and see what this is all about yet. Grogu, what? Scotty?
No, I was saying that Boba Fett would be running the races there now, correct? Because he's like leading it, and maybe we even get that rock group. You never know. Maybe we get some good music.
Oh, from Visions, yeah, they were on a race course. That's right. So we got another.
Wait. I mean, we don't know yet because Boba Fett did say in the final episode, "Man, this work isn't cut out for us. I think we should quit."
Yeah, you pretty much. Yeah, you're right.
Look, the pod races are stupid. This is a common opinion, okay?
It's a known fact. It's a known fact.
The albums are now This Is Pod Racing 7. That's what they're going to title
pod
it.
racing.
That's what they'll title.
Wait a minute. Didn't we have a race? Didn't we have a race in Book of Boba Fett where they were escaping and the
Oh yeah, on the little Vespa.
With the moped Rangers.
There was your race. There was your race. You happy?
Yeah, if you want animated pod racing, just watch Resistance.
Okay, there we go.
People are like, "What? What's Resistance?"
How did Hanta
I forgot
learn the Wookiee language? He said it was a little bit rusty too. He didn't just say he knew it. He's like, but it was fine for the whole episode. How? In the Solo movie, someone told me he actually makes the noises. Hunter didn't do that. He just spoke in his language, and they spoke back. I think even Tech was translating, so they did a very good job of not doing no embarrassing stupid stuff. How did Hunter learn the language of Wookiee? Was it an elective? Why does only he know it, but not his brothers? What was he doing? He's like a sensory type of guy, right? So maybe that enhances his listening, I would say. There's got to be a reason for that.
I mean, he had to have met another Wookiee in order to probably, because Han learned his. Well, in Solo, did Han know the language before he met Chewbacca, or did he start learning it through the movie?
No, he knew it because he gave him his real name, and he goes, "Well, I'm not calling you that."
Okay.
So I think he understood.
Yeah, probably
Chewbacca has a real name that we just don't know the name of it. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe I should check this movie out.
Elective or whatever. Elective in school. But did Hunter go to school? Did he get educated?
The same education that the others got.
He learned it the same way the Guardians of the Galaxy learned how to speak. What's it face?
Groot.
Right. Thor had an elective, but none of the other Guardians of the Galaxy members did. But apparently, they learned how to speak Groot. So
the old plot armor. Anzo, how did Hunter learn the language?
Well, in the first movie,
I like Dre's answer.
In the first movie, did Star-Lord know what Groot was saying most of the time?
Hunter's ex was a Wookiee.
I really understood him.
No, but over a hair situation. Shit. We all went? Yes? No?
Yeah.
Clone Force 99 had a brief time on Kashyyyk, right?
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, they was on Kashyyyk.
Okay then. Fine, that's where it happened. But you don't learn a whole language that quickly unless you're Hunter. That's the thing.
I mean, well, so is Hunter is one of the old clones that his chip didn't.
No, he is one of the Bad Batch members, and all of the Bad Batches, the members of them, all 5 of them, 6 of them, if you include Omega.
Yeah.
They are all different. They were not treated the same way as the other clones were. And so I believe that their chips didn't work, their inhibitor chips.
Okay.
Is that correct? That sounds correct. 23 of 33 banning MCU Star Wars questions. Would you prefer Ahsoka to be more or less separated from this Mandalorian show? I say more. I say that Filoni, you're doing a good job. Book of Boba Fett was enough Mandalorian inside there that there's a lot of synergy that I want to be seeing. So I want more association to Mandalorian, not something like Andor. And Andor is a different time. But still, I want more than less.
Less.
Damn.
Well, I think the screen time she's been getting, I've been satisfied with that. Because it's Din Djarin and Grogu's show. I mean, Grogu's a star. I mean, he's carrying the whole show on his back, but
I'm speaking of the series that is called the Ahsoka series. Should the series and the plot and everything around it be more or less separated from the Mandalorian?
Oh, yeah, less separated, like
sure.
totally less separated. Like I don't really. Grogu's gonna be mentioned. Din Djarin, they might be mentioned, but I don't want anything for the Mandalorian to be important in Ahsoka because what's important in Ahsoka is related to Rebels. She's looking for Ezra. That's you know, she's not going to be doing no side quests and stuff. She's literally looking for Ezra.
Okay.
And Thrawn, wherever they're at.
And that's too big of a story to be talking with Bo-Katan and what's going on over there on Mandalore.
Right, like that's a dead set mission. It's like there's shouldn't be no side quests, no derailing, no do this little task here. No, we're looking straight up for Ezra. That should be a very focused story.
I agree. I don't want really it to have to tie into Mandalore. I want it to be its own thing, you know. But I don't want to tie it into Mandalore.
Everyone's saying more separation except for Diesel. I want a little bit of attachment.
With Mandalore, you can get away with that because with the character Mando he's a bounty hunter. You can going across, the galaxy hunting down people. You can get away with not being so focused as you think, as you would want it to be.
I think that mine will be brief. I think that Ahsoka's show will stay more related to like her personal story, but towards the end when she goes to find Ezra or whenever they have that, it really will depend on how much they factor in Thrawn, because I assume Thrawn will be a potential threat for even the Mandalorians. So maybe Ezra and Ahsoka help out with that because we don't see or hear from them during any of that sequel nonsense. They kind of have to explain where these
sequel nonsense,
where that 1 year. They do have to explain where everyone is that they're talking about now. Eventually, they're going to have to mention it. I think.
I agree.
Okay, well then, fine. 24. How many percentage points better would the Book of Boba Fett would have been if Scad, one of those Power Rangers, if he hadn't done the spin? How much percentage points? Do I hear 20% better? Do I hear 10?
Well, the problem is with Scad, right? He didn't.
Why are you acting like you knew his name was Scad before I said it? If I hadn't have done the Google search of casting,
light skin.
Yeah, you know who he was now that I've said it, and with the spin.
That's the only person who did that spin. So
yeah, all right. So Scad.
No, it would have been cool if Scad shot like 5 people with that spin and did something cool. It was the most unnecessary spin ever. I get it. That's Robert Rodriguez's thing. He loves doing spins in movies and stuff. That's his thing. But it is only useful if you did something cool with it, like shot 10 people, 5 people, shot somebody.
Here's the thing, though, Killmonger. Any number compared to infinity is so close to 0 as to be considered 0. So it wouldn't have made a difference.
Eric goes 10% better.
It would have made no difference. I agree with Jada 100%.
We wouldn't have gone.
Even if they had did something cool with it, it would have been like, oh, that's cool. But it still does not help the series whatsoever.
Yeah.
This
I
would
mean,
have been better. If he would have got shot right after this spin, that would have been like a little joke. You can't play around because it still is a galaxy far away. That would have made it better. I don't really need this character.
But let's say if he actually did like hit a couple people with that move, it would have been dumb. But at least I would have been like, well, at least it did something. It's not completely useless. Because if you're doing something and it doesn't do nothing, that makes it even.
Well, hold on then, K-Dot. What if he had followed up the spin with a moonwalk?
What if they did the spin all in one?
No.
Because
he
there's
has to do the
two
moonwalk
separate shots that they
people.
use. They got him. He does the spin, then
And
they see
then
it from
finish
another
it off.
angle, and he hasn't even fully done the spin to the point where it's supposed to be at the next angle. Nobody edited that together. That was terrible. I wanted him to get shot.
I mean, but chill. That whole episode was like, that was like plot armor. Even the Kenobi finale with all the troops when they when Vader did the assault. It was so much plot armor to the max with that. Like Black Chrysanthemum got ganged up on by the weird lizard thingies. They had like knives and machetes and stuff. And I'm like, why are you jumping on his back? Stab him.
30-25. Does Han enjoy being solo?
Nah.
Huh? Anzo, does Han enjoy being solo?
Absolutely not.
Nah, man. He can't go nowhere without his best buddy in the galaxy.
Jaded
fanboy, does Han do it solo?
Because I'm trying to remember with the little that I saw from the Han Solo movie, he was never really alone for that long anyway. So I don't even know if I would have to say he doesn't enjoy being solo because he's always with somebody. He always has some association with somebody.
26. How often does Leia season with oregano?
Oh no.
Oregano? The little spice?
I mean, she Han puts that spice on her. That's what he does. He lays that spice down.
Are you crazy?
Not really oregano that she spices the stuff up with. So
yeah, salt and pepper.
Yeah, it's more like
so
salt.
she does use it. I mean, when her and Han was married, she was using it regularly.
You see how tight those buns are, bro?
No. Which buns?
No spice. I mean, unless it's spice, maybe.
How often does she season with oregano?
When she was with Han, plenty.
No, I will continue this joke, Aaron, until it's run its course. Because the next question is, what is the highest that Dooku has ever counted? The Count Dooku. Think about it. He's an old man, makes it a long time until Anakin slays him. As a kid, when you're like, I'm going to count to the biggest number possible. I'm going to count to 100. And he probably has counted
the
to
highest
100, got to 103, and said, that's enough for me. 103.
The highest he has ever counted was 2, because in his final moments before Anakin tried to slice his head off, he was trying to count to 3 just to give himself time to prepare, and Anakin stopped at 2 and went.
Wait, was I muted for the last question?
Yeah, we didn't hear you.
Oh, you guys didn't hear my joke? Damn.
No, yeah, I'm sorry. What was it?
Huh?
What was it?
We're ready. Come on, we want to laugh. Let's go.
Well, you said does Leia season with oregano? And I was like, well, white people don't season their meat.
Oh!
That's why I said salt and pepper.
No, hold on, Anzo. It depends. For some people, just putting salt is enough.
Yeah. That's why I think nobody said salt and pepper. Yeah, I agree.
Now give us the answer to this. You got a joke? What's the biggest that Count Dooku has ever counted?
Oh, okay, hold on. 26A, 26B.
Okay.
How often does Leia dry rub? Well, it's likes its seasoning. Yeah. They dry rub.
Number 28. Did Din have a jar in his Razor Crest?
Well, Din
did have a jar. He had a jar of stored canned fruits and stuff on his little adventures because he gets hungry. He wants to have some peaches, mango, oranges.
There was a fridge on that Razor Crest.
Yep.
Yes, this one's yes. He had a jar in his Razor Crest. Come on now.
He definitely had more than one jar.
Jada Fanboy, Din Djarin. Does he have a jar in his Razor Crest?
No,
No, that's all.
that's it. I'm not getting into that one.
Anzo, did Din have a jar in his Razor Crest ship that got exploded?
Yeah, he definitely had a jar in there.
I hope you're not alluding to that thing.
I'm not alluding to anything.
Yeah, he's not alluding
Yeah,
to
get
anything.
your mind out the gutter, K-Dot.
His name
just
sounds
has,
like Jar-In. That's all.
He just had jerky and dry rub.
I was thinking about something else.
Yeah, I know you were.
They use oregano always. Was Din Door a jar on his Razor Crest? Look at Kenny. Let's see here. No. Diesel, you're supposed to laugh. Find the emoji with the crying tears and post that. It's a fun time.
Or you can just find an emoji with tears.
The next question. 29. Would Obi-Wan have stepped in the first episode of Kenobi if Uncle Ben was about to die? Not it was troublesome, it looked bad, but if it was really if Reva was about to slice him and that would have been gone, like, would Obi-Wan Kenobi have revealed who he is, saved old Ben, or would he just allowed Ben to die and be like, "Ooh, at least Luke is safe"? I don't know. It's hard for me. I want to hear the room.
You're talking about specifically in the last episode when Reva did her assault on
First episode. The first episode when they were in
No, he wouldn't have stepped in. Look how many episodes it took for him to pick up a freaking lightsaber and use the Force.
Yeah, you're right, because there was another Jedi that he just simply allowed to go.
Went in a straight coward mode, so no.
That's right. He was in a poor place. He would have let Uncle. He would have.
The only thing he would have done was probably take Luke and hide him somewhere with him and just hide until it's time, until he gets old enough and train him. But he's not going to do too much.
No, he would have saved
him. The problem is, though, that Obi-Wan knows Uncle Ben is way better off protecting and being the provider for Luke, and also the aunt, Peru. They're not Obi-Wan. They're not a wanted Jedi. They can do things. They can parent him properly. It should have really.
He was just using the family.
I think he's
because he didn't want to get a job and support this little boy. Man, freak Obi-Wan. He trash.
He had a job.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
He just wanted to support himself. He didn't want to support this little boy.
No, he tried to get him toys, but Uncle Ben wouldn't allow it.
Exactly.
Owen. Man, he didn't. Man, he got him trash toys anyways. He got him trash.
You mean the trash toy that he kept eventually because he got him a new one? What are you talking about?
Man, Uncle Owen was giving him all the good toys, all the big expensive
toys. Uncle Owen wouldn't let him become a pilot. What are you talking about? He was going, one more season, Luke. One more season. Yeah, it's been 5 seasons, Uncle Luke. I'm getting out of here.
JD, Luke did not have a poor kid's toy when he was growing up. He was living good.
He was playing in sand. Give me a break.
Sometimes sand is a good enough toy, Sometimes the
it worked for Anakin. It was a great toy for Anakin. Yeah, it worked real good.
I'm confused. I'm confused because chat and everyone's agreeing with this, and y'all want Luke to go to the dark side early or what?
No, I don't. No.
Loss is the greatest path to the dark side, and Obi-Wan 100% would have stepped in. He would have forced snatched the lightsaber, and everybody had to die. They all had to die. If she was going to do that, I think that's what would happen.
I agree. I don't think
if he allows Ben to die, Luke eventually finds out about it. It's game over. Dark side. Game over.
Well, no, that's
you don't
not
think
fair.
He would have smirked, exhaled through his nose, and then walked away?
No, that's not fair.
No.
Because when he does find, hold on, that's not fair though. Because when he does end up seeing his aunt and uncle dead and killed by the stormtroopers, he doesn't change. He doesn't go to the dark side. He just feels,
different.
I no longer have any ties here. I guess I can go with you, Ben.
That's
So
not
Yeah,
Ben.
but-
So that's not
Hey,
Ben
you said Ben
allowing.
too.
That's not Obi-Wan allowing Uncle Ben to die.
Uncle
very
Owen,
different.
guys, Owen.
Whatever.
And also look, the reason look, I don't believe he would have done anything. I think he would have stayed hidden because he cared more about staying hidden. He even told the other Jedi, let's stay hidden. That he wasn't even doing his little duties. Like there was that lady who got her arm chopped off in the crowd. He doesn't know the lady, but it's like you're not even doing your basic duties. You think I'm going to expect you to protect Luke's uncle that you barely know? No, he ain't finna protect him.
But you're overlooking what protecting the uncle does to
Exactly.
protect Luke.
Mhm.
Like he's protecting Luke's mental state because he knows how vulnerable he is. He knows who his father is. He knows what happened.
Let me throw in a little wrench here. Throw a wrench in there. Then why did Obi-Wan train Luke to eventually kill his father, which would easily traumatize the boy?
Because as far as Ben was concerned, it wasn't his father anymore.
Right. But that was to Ben. To Ben. I mean, to Strick, which Jada is right. To Ben, that is not Anakin no more.
Not
but
Anakin.
And that's what he told him the whole time.
But any kid, if you told them years later, like that kid's your father, that kid's gonna he's gonna be kind of curious. Like this dude's my dad.
Yeah,
Like,
but
you
hold
want me
on.
to kill my
Luke
dad?
finds out.
He
But
was.
Luke finds out because his dad told him, not because Ben did.
Right, but him finding out,
That's
caused
what
so much
traumatized
conflict.
him. Well, yeah, because it was his father.
Okay, all right. Well, think about it like this. Let's say he killed Vader. He never knew, and then Obi-Wan tells him after, "You just killed your father." How would Luke feel?
Well, that depends. That depends on how soon after. Because if it's after he becomes a full-fledged Jedi, and it's after he's been trained with Yoda,
Yeah.
Right. He might have a different reaction. To
Right,
it.
but
The
you
wind
guys
of
are
the
also
Force.
making it seem like Luke had this strong connection to like his father. You know what I
he
mean?
didn't.
Like this
No,
guy is
I'm not saying
evil,
he
like
did. I'm
the
not saying he
universe. So
did.
he's not like, oh, that's my father. He's like, oh no, my father's evil. I have no connection.
My
to him.
father's Darth Vader. That's
Yeah,
what
I have
was.
no
That's why he
connection.
was going. That's not true. You can't be my father. You're the
Right.
one trying to kill everybody.
Right. The only reason why Luke didn't go after killing Darth Vader is because he felt good in him. When they had that fight, he felt that Darth Vader was holding back from actually killing him.
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
Remember when Luke almost killed him? That was crazy.
Right, because he threatened Leia, right?
Yeah, and they were in the heat of a battle.
Yeah, he almost killed his own dad.
I
Crazy.
remember
Yeah.
exactly that
Mhm.
scene when they were
But
fighting each other
was
for the
in the
last
heat of
10
battle,
minutes.
though. Even
I do remember
was in
that.
the heat of
He wasn't.
battle.
It wasn't like Darth Vader was sleeping in bed alone. I remember that scene. Yeah.
Hmm.
Thanks for
Right.
reminding me,
Yeah.
Scotty.
Weird. That's so weird.
Appreciate it, Hawks Holocrons.
Yeah.
Question
Imagine
30.
trying to kill your family.
The 30th question of 33 burning Star Wars. Oh, I keep doing that. I guess I'm so used to talking about the MCU. The Force Awakens made 124 million in China. The 8th movie, which I don't mention its name, made 42 million. The Rise of Skywalker brought in 20 million. Law of Diminishing Returns over in China. Big box office. The second biggest in the world. What message, Scotty, do you take out of these box office returns? So that's 124 to 42, and then it even goes half again to 20 million.
It's a similar trend in the US too, right? It wasn't just over there.
Not that much, though.
Yeah. You're saying so significant drop off?
Well, yeah, we'll read the numbers. Like 124.
Yeah, I know.
to
Yeah.
42.
So, I mean, what I take away from it is that the IP of Star Wars carries a lot of weight, a lot of hype in its own right. I think even a new announced movie, first of a trilogy, if they stick with it, would make equal, if not more. And it really just depends on the writing. I feel like, I don't know. I was actually shocked because I came out of The Force Awakens like very hype on Star Wars. It felt very similar to the first movie. And then when the second one came out, I was more anticipated about what they were going to do with this, other type of Force connection type stuff. And
you got it.
The reaction from fans like completely divided it. Yeah, and that stuff excited me because it was new to Star Wars. Like I have wanted new stuff to Star Wars for a long time, and that's when all the divide happened. So now for me, it's like 7 was really just a copy. It really was just a copy. So that's why it made so much money. It was the safe bet, in my opinion.
But China, though, in China, do they really care about it being matching the movie from 1977?
Well,
I think the numbers show that. I think.
Okay.
Well, so that's what the numbers you show is like the total earnings from China, right? For each movie,
just
right?
China, yeah. Because I'm asking about them because they are sometimes studios make movies for China.
So what this tells me is, and it says a lot about Star Wars, the franchise, is that Star Wars can survive without China. Star Wars is not one of those franchises that need to depend on China to make big money, because Star Wars, whether you watch it or not, it is a part. It is over here in America, even Canada.
Why you say Canada with disdain? Why you say
Let's
Canada?
say North America, K-Dog.
Canada, even South America, like that's it. Star Wars is iconic over here.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows Darth Vader. Everyone knows who Luke Skywalker is. Where they didn't watch, they know R2, Yoda. They're icons.
Lightsabers. Everyone knows these.
Like that just says they can survive without China. Most franchise like Transformers needed China. It needed China to hit those extra billions. Even
Fast and Furious needed China.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you see, those are the type of movies that they're into in China, right? The cars, the big robots. Star Wars has never ever been huge in China. So you get that first movie and it gives that big buzz. You haven't seen a Star Wars movie in how many years? 20 years or something like that between the last ones, right? So it was always going to do big for the first one. But then you went and kind of crapped the bed with the next two. So yeah, of course it's going to happen.
And my takeaway from this, after I noticed how much less money it makes, okay, look, the Black Panther movie made $105 million. The first Black Panther. All the Marvel.
5 billion.
What'd you say?
Billion. It made 105 billion.
Wait, no.
Well, it got the extra billion from overseas, but majority of its box office was domestic.
I'll rephrase. Sorry.
Okay.
In China, Black Panther made 105 million over there. So when I see that The Rise of Skywalker made 20 million, it tells me that there isn't this like nostalgia where we got to be back for the new Star Wars. They had their taste, the Chinese people. They enjoyed the Force Awakens, and they all showed out for that. And less of them came for Last Jedi, and less of them came for Rise of Skywalker. We keep going there, domestics, because that's the thing. It was a big franchise. It's part of the zeitgeist. It's important. And even though, yes, it did decrease domestically, it didn't decrease like that, where it was like a third of what the first movie made, and then half coming out of the second movie. That's a lot. So my big takeaway from this is, since they're the big box office, the second biggest in the world, and they're not feeling your movies, you know where I'm going with this. You cast a black lead for your next trilogy. There's no reason now, because you're supposed to cast white people because it was just more generally accepting to all these international markets who will pay. China's not paying. So now, no excuse. I need a black lead in the new Star Wars movie. Not the new shows. Don't do all your diversity here on TV, and then when it's time for a movie, we need someone. How about a white guy? No. I'm not falling for that. Or I'm rejecting of that. I'm not accepting of that notion.
I don't always agree with you, Chill, but on this one, yes, 100%. I do it.
Right, because if you oh, sorry, JD, you go. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, okay, I agree with you on that, Chill Manga, but that wasn't the message I took away from the
everyone had a different message. Sure, go ahead. What's your message?
The message is that China figured out the Star Wars movie sucked before North America.
Yeah.
I mean, at least the sequels. Anyway.
That's a good point. That's
one at a time.
At least the sequels, anyways, Jaded. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But see, Chill right though, because like it was no reason. And we know why they did this, so they can appeal to more people.
That Finn was shrunk.
No reason. Shrunk Finn.
Aaron Timotou's comment is basically agreeing with you.
Sidelining Finn wasn't financially expedient after all.
Yeah,
but that's right. That's what I'm looking at and I'm noticing.
So even before episode 7, even I still knew this. China never helped Star Wars be as popular as it was. It was always America.
Yeah, they could just make the toys.
Everything domestic over here was.
They could just make the toys.
Bro, I'm awful. I'm sorry. That's my take on it. Jaded and everyone gave their takes. Anzo, you agree with me, or what were you gonna?
What was the Did you look at the Japan numbers by any chance?
No.
Star Wars does have a lot of influence from Japanese culture. in it.
That's legit. We should probably look that up. I hope you guys are patient. I'm gonna check that out on my.
Yeah,
box
that is a
office
good
lookup.
question because weren't majority of the Vision studios Japan?
Right.
Yeah.
So
I know they probably got new Japanese audience is like, whoa, they're doing anime. Cool. Let's see what's up.
Well, they also have. Well, the manga didn't do that well.
Had a manga.
And again, neither did the Marvel comic of Star Wars. So, but the Dark Horse ones did pretty good, and the IDW ones did pretty good.
Yeah, people did like
the first movie in Japan made 97 million. Force Awakens made 97 million.
In Japan,
so
97.
People remember that. Somebody type that in the live chat, please. 97 million. And then in Japan for the second movie, they made 66 million. So that's not as big as a decrease from before. 97, 66, and then Rise of Skywalker. Scrolling. It's 66 million also, Rise of Skywalker.
So 97, 66, 66. Kind of a little. It was a definite drop with the second film, but consistent to the last one. Well, so that also jaded up. Japan was like, "Yay, episode 7, good." Then they saw 8 and 9. Oh shoot, we gotta go.
Well, everybody
got to
was
change
like
your
that,
voice.
though. Everybody was pretty much like that, though. You know what I mean? That's why Force Awakens really did so good, because you haven't had a Star Wars movie. People were, Disney. They were doing Marvel, and everybody's like, "Yeah, they bought Star Wars. Okay, we're gonna,
Anzo, I'm gonna throw you guys Canadians a bone of support today because I'm supporting you guys.
I don't believe you.
The reason Last Jedi made more money than it should have was because of us Americans. But I didn't go watching.
Yes.
Add me to it. But I blame my fellow Americans for giving that movie so much money. I don't blame Canada. I don't blame any other. I blame Americans specifically, my own people. You guys,
I didn't even sit through
for our country.
I didn't even sit through the whole first one. What are you talking about?
So what do we take from these Japanese number 97, 66, and consistently staying at 66?
I think the Japanese was trying to make a point to the world, like, we stay consistent over here, unlike you other countries.
Okay, I guess I'm not getting a real answer to that. I really don't know how to read into this.
I have no idea how to read into that. Other than maybe the people that liked the first movie were the people that liked the first two movies enjoyed it enough to watch it for the third movie. That's pretty much it.
Maybe those were the hardcore fans. You know what I mean? The first one brought out hardcore fans and casuals. But the second and third probably brought just the hardcore fans.
And if you look at the third, and if you look at third number just says that third movie was so bad that it couldn't gain any new people.
Yeah, but it didn't lose anybody either.
Yeah, it didn't lose anybody. It kept the same, but it didn't even gain, which shows how bad the movie is.
Hawks Holocrons, will Ahsoka be a success coming this summer?
Yeah, I think so. This is like a passion project of Dave's, and people used to hate Ahsoka, and now everybody loves her. I hope that he's just gonna tie a nice little bow on this. Hope she plays a bigger role because of her whole change in philosophy. Maybe even if she, passes this on to Ezra and he continues the teachings or something. I hope she has a long lasting.
Is it the Ezra connection, which is the reason why?
That, and I think World Between Worlds will also factor in a deeper connection to the Force that we'll understand. I think she's going to realize that, like, no matter what you do, the will of the Force is ultimately what's at power here.
You mean midichlorians?
Kind of why she goes gray or wears the cloak now.
Well,
what if it was just cold? She was wearing a cloak, sure, in the final episode of Rebels. Could have just been, she needed to be worn, that's all.
I think that was a clear message of a change in her, the staff too.
So where was the cloak when we see her in the future?
Well, okay,
she's not interfering with Luke's teachings or anything.
Yeah, because you have to look at the end of Rebels. It fast forwards, right? It fast forwards a lot, and it kind of goes past the original trilogy. So we don't So that scene in Rebels could have happened even after Mandalorian.
That's fine. That's fine.
Where she
I
has
don't even want to get into that little sub-hole
Clothing,
plot.
like,
Let's get into why will Ahsoka the series be a success? Is it World Between Worlds? What do you think, K-Dot? The reason why? What makes this thing?
I mean,
a hit?
mainly because Dave Filoni is going to be specifically
Perfect.
overseeing.
Thank you. Said it for me. I knew you would say it
Dave
too.
Filoni,
David Jebediah Filoni.
Okay.
Honestly, this is the hope. This is hope. If they have the Clone Wars team,
It's the hope. I love that. I love how that's the beginning of every sentence when it comes to a Disney Plus TV show. The hope is, I hope it becomes good. I hope it's worth watching.
No. I don't think this is no. I don't think it's gonna be bad. I'm saying this is the hope. I think it's already good because Dave Filoni's overseeing it.
Oh, okay.
But I want the Clone Wars team to specifically be working on it, like the writers, the team to be working on this, because this is Dave Filoni. He was a big part of why Clone Wars was so good. Yeah. And you should bring that team on back specifically for this. Even the Rebels team, bring them on to come work on this too. So there's a consistency, and you have these people directly from those shows continuing this character that was created in that show.
I think the term success is very hazy, because if you're talking about will it be a success for Star Wars fans, I would say yes. But as opposed to being successful, take The Mandalorian. The only reason The Mandalorian TV show was successful was because of Baby Yoda. Like, people didn't watch The Mandalorian to see The Mandalorian. They watched the casuals.
He is the Mandalorian. Grogu is a Mandalorian. He's from the clan of two, the Mudhorn.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying.
He is it. It's like the Phantom Menace has two different meanings. We don't know who they're talking about. It was about Sheev Palpatine this whole time.
But again, in the first season, nobody was watching the show because Baby Grogu was going to be.
That point is correct. It was a Grogu phenomenon, which is carrying this thing. And it rubbed into Book of Boba Fett too. I'm sure some fans who watched that were like, "Oh, there's a Grogu in this. Let me check it out." Success is never guaranteed, but if Dave can pull this off, he'll be immortalized even more than he already is. That is true.
But only by Star Wars fans, not by the casuals, not by the general audience.
The casuals don't know who Dave Filoni is, but the casuals don't know Kevin Feige either.
Well,
casuals
and
don't know
that's
George
why,
Lucas.
and that's why, I'm gonna say it too. I think Ahsoka, just in general, needs to be like, your average good. I mean, not average, but your average good, Walking Dead episode, the good ones. Get Game of Thrones episode, the good ones. The leftovers.
What, all three of them?
This show needs to be a good show in general. It needs to be a good Star Wars show. It needs to go up beyond the Mandalorian. Like, this needs to have HBO level writing with it. That's what this show specifically needs. Now, you mean like
Game of Thrones season 8? You mean like Game of Thrones season 8 type writing?
No, never. But
it's gonna go deep. I think
it needs to be like quality, a quality TV show. I want other people to look at this Ahsoka show like, yo, dang, this is just a good TV show in general.
Why will Ahsoka be a success, Anzo?
I don't know if it's going to be a success. I hope it is, because if it's not, I'm probably going to be done with Disney Star Wars, right? But if it is, I think it will has to do with Dave Filoni, absolutely. You watch the documentary that they have, not the documentary, but the series where they're talking about Star Wars, and he's sitting there and he's talking about how he was so close to George Lucas and breaking it down. It's like, okay, you are the one person that knows Star Wars the way George Lucas wanted it to be. So I'm hoping he sticks to that.
Dave Filoni is the one.
Right. Mm-hmm. And see this thing too. I remember people using this excuse for a lot with Kathleen. Because just because she knew George too, the way she talked about Star Wars is not the way you hear Filoni talk about Star Wars.
Absolutely not.
Because you
think Kathleen Kennedy can name a Twi'lek? You think she knows what the name of the species is?
No.
That's for you. That's a question for you, Hawks Holocrons. You know the answer is no. She cannot.
No. Yeah, I agree.
Like, you could ask her what a porg is and she wouldn't know.
Porg?
You could ask her what a porg is and she wouldn't know.
I believe she would know a porg.
No, she would know porg. Yeah, exactly.
If it's anything sequel trilogy, she's gonna be like, "Oh, that's my Kylo." Yeah.
Yeah, anything sequel trilogy. She had a huge hand in those movies.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
you look. If she was, I don't know,
captured by some criminals, and they
Okay.
said, if you do not answer this question, we will
Oh,
still
yeah,
we're gonna take your money.
yeah.
They're gonna ask her who shot first. She's gonna say Jabba. She's gonna mess it up.
She's just gonna say some name,
and her
and
life
hope
is
it's
over.
right.
She's gonna say Jabba the Hutt. No.
Yeah, I guarantee she
No,
don't know
she's gonna.
Greedo's
Hold on. Is it Grogu? Grogu, Greedo, Grogu.
I guarantee she don't know Greedo's name. Guarantee she don't know Greedo's name.
Many new fans were introduced to Ahsoka through Mandalorian and want to get back to watch CW Rebels. What? Oh, Clone Wars Rebels. They're definitely watching this show.
I think. Well, yeah, I'm gonna say Ahsoka was too big.
She wasn't that big a scene in Mando. I mean, you had to know her to even understand the significance of that scene in the first place.
It's 33 burning Star Wars questions. Chillmonger, Onzo, Hawks, Jaded, K. 32. What is a Vader quality that you've seen in Luke?
I ain't gonna lie. I would hate. No.
Is it the hair? Is it the eyes?
Wait, like a moment or just like a?
Yeah, the quality, the moment, anything. Yeah, you take it however you want to take it.
Actually, two. Return of the Jedi, Luke, and the hallway scene from Mandalorian, because basically reflects the hallway scene with Vader from Rogue One. But I'll say Luke overall in Return of the Jedi. Like, if you look at how Anakin was in Clone Wars, with the same confidence, like. They carried themselves very much the same, confident. They knew what they was doing. They was sure of what they was doing. They was dedicated. All that.
Good answer.
So Return Jedi, Luke.
What's a Vader quality that you see? Jaded fanboy.
Somewhere along the lines with what K. said, because when Darth Vader goes to that captain and goes, "I find your lack of faith disturbing," and then kind of like shows off his powers. Luke did that when he was trying to rescue Leia from, Jabba the Hutt. And he's like, "Oh, you're just nothing." And then he has that smile. And it's like, that's basically him going, "I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
Let me explain to you how wrong you are. You just made your mistake." So
Lonzo?
there is that self-confidence, that knowledge of the confidence in his own powers and knowing what he can do.
Have you ever seen Vader in Luke Skywalker, Onzo?
Yeah. For me, it has to do with they both made silly mistakes because of their love and care for their friends, right, and family.
What mistake did Luke make?
He left his training to go fight Darth Vader in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
So they had this impulsiveness in them, and that's where they were the same to me.
Hey, I recently went back to watch that Empire fight with Luke and Vader.
Mm-hmm.
While it wasn't all flashy and stuff, that choreography is still solid.
Yeah, to me,
the
because it's a fight.
Of that
it's
scene.
not a dance.
I love the Revenge of the Sith lightsaber battle with Obi-Wan and Anakin, but to me, it's still that Empire Strikes Back fight is my favorite. With Luke and Vader. Yeah,
even with Luke's lack of
training. He is just hot. He's just like, forget the twirls and the spins. He's literally just hacking away at his father.
Chillmonger says every prequel era Star Wars lightsaber fight is better and a lot.
I
then we get down to the every other thing else.
The prequels knew how to do all the extra twirling that Jade is talking about better than the sequels.
All of the twirls. The question is, what Vader quality, Scotty, do you see in Luke Skywalker?
I think they, and Luke talks about it in the sequels, the hubris or the almost an overconfidence that he could repeat what the Jedi before had done. And then Anakin's overconfidence that he would rule the galaxy better than what Palpatine did, driven kind of by power, but in different ways, almost.
My answer
in other
to this
words,
question
they can do it better.
is
They can do it better.
Mm-hmm.
In the third movie, in Revenge of the Sith, Anakin takes the youngling Slayer 5000 and does what he has to do, except for Reva. Reva got to stay alive. Then there's this scene where an older Luke Skywalker takes his little youngling Slayer and ignites a lightsaber on the sleeping bed of a youngling, Ben Solo. Same father and son right there, spitting image. That was a Vader quality that I saw in Luke Skywalker.
Dang, why do sequels have to exist to mess up all this stuff? Dang.
It happens.
But hey, everything we still said is still valid though.
Another quality.
33.
So,
What did
hold
Anakin
on.
tell
Yeah,
Padme? Okay.
Yeah, hold on, Joe, because I wanted to get. You said the lightsaber scenes in the prequels are better than anything in the originals. That's what you said, right?
Not just anything, everything. Yeah.
You see, okay, yeah, because the ones in the sequels are bad too. I can agree why you would say that, but those lightsaber battles are fun. They're good to watch, but they look just like dancing, like Jaded said. Like there's certain things where they do certain poses and stuff like that. I loved the last one in the Revenge of the Sith, but that Empire Strikes Back, I still think that's top.
The Return of the Jedi final fight is so hard to watch. Just Luke kind of just powers up and he's just hammering at Vader, and Vader's like this. Oh, okay, let me go down on a knee. Let me go down on a knee. What? How? What?
Well, and that's why
to show that he's losing ground. That's why it's constantly going down. He's basically
almost killed him.
Reshot.
So crazy.
And
Showmonger is the person who watched the episodes 1, 2, and 3 first, and then I went and watched those old movies. So that's probably why too.
And it's totally different when you're trying to kill somebody that's trying to kill you than to an innocent kid who is the nephew of your best friend.
Family.
You know,
that's nuts.
Oh,
that's a little bit of some of my the one.
Another quality that Anakin and Luke share. They both hate sand.
Yeah, pretty much.
Probably.
Because he couldn't wait to get off the planet.
But damn, I want to go. What take some? What's that station? Tashi was the station.
I'm gonna go to Tashi Station.
I'm gonna go to Tashi Station.
Oh, here's another quality. They were both whiners when they were young.
Empire was the first film that you saw as a kid. Still my favorite, right next to Revenge of the Sith. I love both trilogies. Oh, it was the first Star Wars film you said that you saw as a kid. Okay, cool. 33.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a bunch of qualities.
Oh, show real quick. I did want to say before you do your last 33. The one thing with Star Wars that I never liked was the inconsistency with the lightsaber stuff. Especially with how the way Jedi's and Sith fought. Because in real trilogy, while it's a product of its time and choreography was not as flashy as it is today, it was very simple. Just simple, like, looked like two samurais fighting. Two samurais in combat. Very simple, no extra flashy stuff. It wasn't like ninjas. Then in prequels, they're more like ninjas and stuff, which I have no big issue with. That's what I would have liked to seen in the originals. But
because in the originals, it was two old men fighting, and so it couldn't be spectacular. And then when we saw Luke fighting, well, he was not really too trained, so that's why he's not too sophisticated.
Right.
But then and that's why, all right, you say you get the animation. They're fighting like there's some like godlike beings and stuff, and it's so inconsistent from one another. That's why I wish the fighting styles, while different, was more consistent. Like if you're gonna. In the original
which
trilogy,
animation?
I felt more grounded.
When Darth Vader's fighting in the animation, that's like he's younger, isn't he? Younger,
but he still kind of fights the same as he does in the real trilogy. He fights slow, but when he swings, it's heavy handed.
I say he's just young enough so for him to be able to,
Vader always stayed consistent, in my opinion, with his lightsaber fighting style. He stayed consistent. He wasn't doing any like flips and stuff. He does do that weird levitation thingy.
Luke at least knew to take the high ground.
Big facts, Jaded. The next question.
Always facts, Aaron. Always facts. Whether they accept it or not is the problem.
What did Anakin tell Padme when she wanted to honeymoon on her planet? What did Anakin say? Huh? Any takers? Nah, boo.
Oh my god.
Nah.
He didn't want to go to his home.
I'll tell you what Padme told this fool Anakin. She said, look, you really think you about to get something right now? I am pregnant, Anakin. I'm pregnant.
Anakin said what he always says when she speaks. Yes, dear.
Facts. I was just about to say that.
Yep. Yeah. As you wish.
As you wish, yeah.
When does Luke get in touch with his Naboo side? Because he is half Naboo. Padme is his mother, even though that never ever comes up. And what can that spawn? What are the storylines that are going to come out of him returning to his native home and land, right? Padme is native of Naboo. We don't know where Anakin is native of. That man was a slave, and we don't know where his mom's from. They were bought and sold all over the place. Their skin tone is way too light to be from a planet with 2 suns. We don't know where they're from. We know he's Nabooan. So does he ever get in touch with Naboo? I would think he does. What if he finds out who Leia is?
Technically, he would benefit. Well, okay, if he went to Naboo and revealed like, "Yo, I'm the son of Padme," because he is royalty. Technically, he would be getting those benefits and stuff of whatever royalty.
Yeah, but her line, it's her position was kind of dismantled. Like,
well, she lost the will to be royalty.
No, in other words, it was destroyed. I mean, her palace was taken over. The Empire just basically took over. So it's like, what's Luke gonna go back to?
I think there's still some who would honor the family, and they'd be like, "Yeah, well, it goes back to the queen."
Him and Anakin still commune, so Anakin definitely could have told him about where she's from, where she's buried. He could visit.
But I don't think. Did Anakin? Did Vader ever figure out where she was buried at?
He does visit her tomb in the comics.
Okay.
In the Disney era comics?
Yeah, and the necklace that she had, there's like some significance with that too, I think.
Oh yeah, what hospital in Return of the Revenge said what hospital was she at? Was she back on Coruscant? The hospital where she died at?
Mm-hmm. That was on Coruscant.
Yeah.
But we learned Tales of the Jedi, she actually dies in Naboo, and there's a ceremony on Naboo, and that's where Ahsoka was.
Mm-hmm. And I think someone places a necklace. I don't know if they even show it in that episode, but he finds the tomb and the necklace, and it like brings him a memory back.
Okay.
And I think it's after he like kind of gives up his search for her with the whole Momin castle portal craziness. They just continue writing that.
Some of that stuff in the comics. What does that mean? Is he happy about some of that stuff? Is that a good thing that he's writing? It feels like an incomplete sentence. Some of that stuff in the comics can rock? Or it sounds positive.
I mean, if you want to know some of these stories, that's where you got to go to find them until they adapt it.
Just like Black Chrysanthemum, read those comics and you'll be rewarded. Onzo, the question was whether or not Luke got in touch with his Naboo side and what comes from this.
I don't know, to be honest with you. I have no idea. That's
all right. And that's the show, everybody. 33 burning questions, Star Wars style. We'll be back next week. I want to do a Black Panther thing. I'm going to talk to other Black Panther or other YouTubers. And then we might just have like a whole day where we go from one guy to another guy. I'll ask Deshaun, Planet Fanatics, what he's saying. And I'll probably make more plans and keep you posted throughout the week. Okay.
So yeah, just know it'll be all recast T'Challa guys. So yeah.
I think there's no other guys. Like, you're not a Black Panther fan unless you want T'Challa recast.
Oh, here we go.
I can show up and throw a monkey wrench in that discussion. So
it's literally the first time someone's ever said that. So I appreciate you.
You're right.
Chill. I'm chill. I'm gonna have that Black Panther comic finished by the time you do 33 Black Panther questions. So make sure you throw in some questions from the first Fantastic
Four. How
long
does it take you to read a comic, Kate? Holy Christ!
Well, I'm reading multiple books.
Oh, you just said the one comic, so it's like, wow.
Well, it's the compilation one. It's the omnibus type of.
Oh, it's the omnibus because I'm going. What, you need 2 pages and go. Okay, hold on. I'm done.
Too much, eh?
Look at that facsimile issue. Look at that goodness.
Oh, okay. I was thinking you got the original. That's amazing.
Yeah, no, but the omnibus I have does have this very first issue in it. It just has his it mainly has his like Avengers appearances, Fantastic Four appearances. It's a omnibus of those appearances.
Well, you could always buy the originals. It's not that hard.
Nice, man. Nice.
But it's better to just get the multiple in once. You know, I'm not spending less.
Yeah, because I mean, why be a comic book collector? Why be a comic book collector? And
okay, thanks everyone for coming. Comics. Thumbs up the stream, and you guys are
recast
nice.
Real T'Challa.
Real T'Challa, that's right. Bye.
No,
Throw it
stop
in there.